Oi, oi. It's Monday. We've seen the weekend go past, and unfortunately, we're back here on Monday, ready to do it all again. But thank God you have found the right channel. And by that, I mean the wonderful DJB, the wonderful Shane, and the excellent Normski, as well as myself, I suppose, here to at least try and cheer you up at 10 o'clock. A little bit of a later time than usual, but I do apologise. My fault. DJB, how was your weekend, brother, before we get into what we're going to get into?
Yeah, it was all good. Bit busy. Done a few things. Was here, there, and everywhere. But yeah, all good. It was, mate. It's nice sometimes when there's no football. You know, you can catch up with things and catch up with a few people and friends and that. And it was heavy in parts, but it was okay. It was all good.
Yeah, man. That's what it is. Yeah, it's always a little bit like that, and sometimes you miss a little bit of football, but sometimes it's quite nice, isn't it, to have nothing to sort of whinge about, cry about. Oh yeah, but then there's a transfer window. But I know what you're saying, Shane. How was your weekend, bro?
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, same as DJB. Sometimes it's just nice not to have football.
Yeah,
especially when you're an Arsenal fan. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's all good. All good. Looking forward to tonight. And big up to the chat and big up to everybody on the panel.
Yeah, big up the chat as well. Yeah, always.
Yeah, Norms, man. You had a bit of a busy
yeah, did a if you can see that, it's probably back to front prostate cancer. Did a sponsored walk, 6K. Woo! So my legs are gone, but it was all for a great cause. And that same day there was the what's the name? British Legion were down there. They were doing their thing down there as well because of obviously D-Day and all that in France. So yeah, it was good. It was good. Raised a bit of money and stuff like. It was still continuing to collect. So if you are interested and you want to know, I might send the link to Aaron. I think you can donate as well, bro. Big up to the panel and big up to the chat as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And whilst I've seen my main man Gianni here, man, it's worth noting as well. Of course, on Friday, I'd done a stream of Northside and it was wicked. And then it got to sort of silly times. So I decided to postpone the call-in and change it to Saturday because I had such a good time. I didn't want to talk about Arsenal, do you know what I mean? And bring myself down. So I changed it to Saturday. And wow, man, I'll tell you what, I wasn't expecting. I didn't know what to expect, really, because it was a swap of dates. You know, I didn't know it'd turn up, a different thing, whatever. And everyone turned up. And, you know, that hit record numbers. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was so good. It ended up lasting for 8 hours and 45 minutes. So, but do you know what? Yeah, if you count in sort of like not having a Lee on the show, and he's always welcome, of course. But, you know, he always brings in tons of views. You know what he's like. His box office, isn't he, our captain? So considering a Lee one on there, you know, I had no raids or anything like that. We hit show record numbers. Man, we had still nearly 200 people watching at 3 o'clock in the morning. We had 100 people watching at 5 in the morning. We still had 100 people watching at 7 in the morning, man. Like, you know what I mean? It fluttered down to 90, and then it was down back up. So this is going to take the opportunity as well as thanking the panel that was on there, including this guy who came back, who left, and then came back on in the morning.
He left to have a bacon sandwich and a cup of tea, and he came back.
My brother Gianni, he left, and then he come back on. He's like, "Oh, you guys still on?" I was like, "Yeah, get back on." He's like, "Send the link." I was like, "Of course I will, Gianni. You absolute geezer." And of course, thanks to everyone that appeared on that show, and yeah, most importantly, man, thank you to the chat, because I mean that was ridiculous. Seeing all of them numbers, that's what it's all about, man. That's why all of us have channels on this panel. And that's why we do it, man. We love talking to each other. Of course we do, man. Inside and outside of YouTube. But the fact that there was so many people watching and engaging, we was just talking football, man. That was what it's all about. Just like we was down the pub, there was no liveness to it. Do you know what I mean? It was organic. It was everything. And every single person stayed there for that amount of time. That was absolutely wicked. When I took the headphones off, I turned end off. And I almost said to him, I don't really speak to myself because I'm not psychotic. But I even said out loud, I was like, fuck me, that was wicked, man. And I just felt good because there was just the people there and the support was just unbelievable. I'll stop waffling on now, but I just wanted to take a cheeky little moment to say thanks to the chat, man, because that's what it's all about, man. And it melted my heart. Thank you very much for everyone else. There's wicked people in the chat, man.
Crazy.
It was Johnny. Big up my guy. What a great point. It was wicked, man. It was just back and forth from non-stop, man. It's wicked. And a big up to every single one on the channel and every single one in the chat. But we're going to start off with something a little frustrating. And I'm going to put this up for everyone to see. We've got 72 people in the building. Boom. Big up to you. Have a little look at this. Before I put it up, I'll whet up the appetite. Arsenal Football Club have what I believe, that's a great point, actually. Someone get the links in and I'll pin it. Absolutely get the links in and I'll pin it. Yeah, do that. Do that if we've got any mods in here. If not, I'll do it in a second. Yeah, so Arsenal, I believe, absolutely without a shadow of a doubt, there has been some severe, not just a tiny little amount, not a big medium amount, a massive, massive, massive amount of neglect in that forward line. And I've got a graphic that will show every single one of you how bad it's been. Now, we know that left-hand side. Come on, people. That left-hand side is stale as fuck, right? We've got Martinelli there and Trossard there. And while they're okay, they're all right. Okay doesn't win you Premier Leagues. Okay doesn't win you FA Cups. Well, sometimes it might, but it doesn't win you the big stuff. It doesn't. It just doesn't. It's stay on that left-hand side. That forward line, we've always seen people going, oh, yeah, you know, Mikel Merino, he's done a great job up front. He's not the answer, okay? We also have Kai Havertz. How many goals does he get? 14 average. That's great. Gabriel Jesus, his best ever season ever in the league was for Manchester City, scoring 14. That strike force is stale. And we've got poor old Bukayo Saka. The only tactic Arsenal have in terms of Arteta's tactics is pass it to Saka and hope he whips in a lovely ball or bends it in the top corner. That's Arsenal's only attack. We flogged the poor kid, hence the grade 3 tear. And we also haven't got backup for him. So I think it's fair to say we need some major upgrades. But we haven't spent enough doing that, especially since Mikel Arteta's come. And I will show you this. Sink your wonderful little claws into this, because this is damning as so-and-so, son. Right. Investing in the attack. Most money spent on forwards since 2020. So it's in sync with the time Mikel Arteta got here, right? Look at this. Top Chelsea, PSG, Man City. Not really surprised, are we? Not really surprised. That's with 803 with Chelsea. And that's actually baffling considering they've got a terrible forward line as well, by the way. I mean, that in itself is horrendous. Scroll all the way down, because if you think this is a table of 20, no. That says 60, because all the way at the bottom there is Arsenal Football Club on 60. Total signings, 21 for Chelsea first. Total signings for Arsenal, 6. Total money spent for Chelsea, 803 million. It's in euros, but not really much of a difference. All the way down to Arsenal, 80. Probably translates to about 72 million, the same as we paid for Nicolas Pepe. Arsenal in the last 5 years have spent a Nicolas Pepe's worth of attack. And we wonder why we scored 22 goals less than we did the year before. We wonder why we got 14 draws. That probably hands down cost us the league title. Have a look at this. Exactly. I'm seeing a lot of things like this, Mr. Waffle. Yeah. What the fuck? Yes, mad neglect. So it is. This is not good. This is worrying. And before we move into what we need to do or what we could do or what it's looking like we're doing, I want to get the panel's thoughts on just this alone, because when I see this, I was like, holy shit, we have to talk about this. And we're going to start off with my brother right underneath me there in DJB. Man, I don't know if you've seen this before. What do you make of it, man? Because it's not pretty reading. Look at the teams above us. Wow. There's 59 of them.
Well, I mean, that just sums it all up. I knew it was pretty grim, but when it actually hits you in the face like that, you realise how actually grim it is, because that is not that's abuse. That's not a neglect. That's whatever you want to call it. That's abuse. That's not thinking of the fans. That's not thinking of any of the supporters. That's not giving the club a chance to win anything. And over the years, looking at that, you can see why we're in the position we're in. We're signing midfield players and making them forwards. We're not busting the bank to go and get the real striker we need. Even now, we're looking at a project. We're looking at a maybe. We're looking at he may become good. He might score us goals. And this is what it's like. This is what it's like. Now, people are saying, yeah, but how can you blame Arteta? You blame the Cronkies. Well, this is under his reign. This is under him and Edu's reign. And last summer, he had the money to go and buy a player. So what he spent on Calafiori and Marino, that money there, his first priority should have been a striker. And then if he'd have bought in Marino and a Calafiori, that may have been an additional and added bonus. But his first priority last summer should have been a striker. And yet, here we are going into the summer transfer window. We're linked with players that have done deals, signed, wearing the shirt, medicals that are not coming to the club. We're also now seeing Gyökeres the next best in class, who, by the way, he's not outstanding. He's just the best there is at the moment. I wouldn't say he's an Henry or Bergkamp. I wouldn't say he's going to set the world alight. But at the end of the day, he's a prolific goal scorer, and he's the best at the moment. But we ain't getting him. Man United's after him, and they'll probably get him.
Yeah.
And yet we're linked with a player, Sesko, that this manager wanted last season. And we still, there's no hard evidence of getting the deal done and getting the money on the table and getting him to sign along the dotted line. And this is how it's been going on and on and on and on. So that league table there, the reason why we are down there is because this manager, since he's been in charge, has not invested in any striker. Ivan Toney, 40 million. I think we could have got him for. Nope, didn't want him. Apparently he had an attitude problem. Well, he ain't had no attitude problem in Saudi, because the last place you want to have as an attitude is in Saudi Arabia. You'd be locked up.
Yeah.
You know, so there's no attitude problem there. In actual fact, he got an England call up, so he must be doing something right. No, didn't fancy him, didn't want him. Absolutely horrendous. And it just goes on and on and on and on. And I said it in the stream earlier. I've never felt so low at an end of a football season as I have this season. And I can't even get excited about going into next season, guys. I'm trying to look at all the links and who we're linked to. And every time I look at it, it's kind of, oh, this player is going here and this club's coming in for him. And you see Man City getting their deals done. You're seeing Man United getting deals done. You're seeing Liverpool get deals done. You're seeing clubs like Leeds getting... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying. The priority has been for... Well, the priority has been for definitely the last 3 seasons is an out-and-out striker. That's been the priority. Since he got rid of Aubameyang, it's been the priority. And that priority has been neglected. Hence, that's why, looking at this, it just brings it home. It just brings it home. There's something's got to give. And in my book, it's got to be the manager. Because the buck stops at him. It has to be the manager. And that would be, honestly, that would bring music to my ears if the club really, really shocked us all and said, oh, we're doing what they've done down the road and got rid of their manager. But yeah, no, before I let someone else come in, it's an absolute shambles. And I keep saying it and I keep getting ridiculed for it. It's a circus. That's what it is. That's what it has been. We've been winging it and it's an absolute circus.
Yeah, mate. It's a fact, man. Like, yeah, the best signing we probably could make, or the best bit of business, I suppose, we could make in this transfer window would be getting rid of the manager. Look at this. Like I said, we'll bring Shane in a second. But look at this. This is, like DJB said, this is abuse. This isn't neglect. This is damn right abuse. I mean, when I'm looking down at this table, I'm thinking, You've got Tottenham. They've spent 281 million, and regardless of what you think of that, that's given them a trophy. You know, that's given them a trophy, or helped give them a trophy. You've got Brighton there. You've got West Ham above us. These teams, by the way, you've got Leeds United, and they've only been in the Premier League for 1 or 2 years since then. I mean, maybe even one. I don't actually quite know off the top of my head. You've got Wolves there, and they're not just slightly ahead of us, by the way. They've spent 3 times more than us. And they've been playing their football in a league lower. This is how embarrassing it is when you think about it. Now, some might sort of say, "Oh, Liverpool, you know, they haven't spent loads on there," but it doesn't matter. They already had Salah there. Probably in that period, they already had Mane there and Firmino there as well. And they've still tried improving it. And since then, they've still won a Premier League. They've still won trophies. 80 million euros, 72 million pounds. Shane, man. I mean, what do you make of this? Because this is hard evidence. This is facts. You cannot argue with this, motherfuckers. What is this? It's madness.
To be honest with you, it's more than I thought. It's about 10 million more than I thought we'd spent. Do you know what? We put up these stats and we put up these facts and we point it all out. And the top gooners and the Arteta sexuals, whatever you want to call them, they just find ways around it all the time. It gets fucking tiring trying to show them just pure facts. You know what I mean? Like this is just our manager trying to reinvent the wheel like he does with everything else. I can make this happen without a striker. I can do this. It also has to come back to the fact that he can't handle big personalities. And I'll repeat myself again. All the best forward players have big personalities, and he can't handle them. He can't handle someone questioning him. He wants a team of yes men. So when people were getting the last 2 or 3 years, when people are getting cast about Tonys and Gyökeres and whoever else, Isaks and all these lads have been in for, I always tell them, don't bother getting your hopes up. This manager isn't even looking at them. He's not even looking at them. They've got personality. Trust me, he's not looking at them. He has to sign yes men, and no good forward player is a yes man. If someone can mention one, apart from Gary Lineker, and he's actually a very opinionated man, as we've seen recently, so I'll even count him out of it. There isn't one. There isn't a forward player, a top forward player that hasn't got a personality. This is just proof. And I'm tired of people coming into my chat saying, "Oh, the board needs to back him." And if I hear that one more time, I swear to God, I'm going to scream, because he's the most backed manager in the Premier League. He's the most backed manager in the Premier League, possibly one of the most backed in Europe. And this is when we're talking about making profit back from sales. You know what I mean? Like, he makes no profit off sales, 0 profit off sales. The only player we could make a profit off is Saliba and Martinelli. That's it. And that's only because Emery got Martinelli for 6 million, and he signed Saliba as well, I might add. And they're young. Saka, of course, but he came through the youth system, but that doesn't count. This guy, man, has devastated us. He's absolutely devastated us. In the time Inzaghi's been at Inter, or was at Inter, he made 114 million euro profit in sales. In that time, Arteta has a 500 million loss, and they were in Champions League finals, winning leagues, winning cups. I'm tired of hearing that the board need to back him. The board need to get him a striker. The board need to do this. The board need to do that. If we do sign Sesko, that'll double what we spent on strikers, and he's shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like I was going to get it in. God,
he is shit, and this is the one we're looking at, because Gyökeres, even if Bertha did try to contact him, I guarantee, and I've said it, I've been saying it since I've been doing this channel, Gyökeres would say, "There's no way I'm playing under that manager. There is no way I'm playing under him. He's a numbers man. He's a gun man. He's a Van Nistelrooy that when he comes off the pitch, if the team's won 2-0 and he hasn't scored, he's gutted, because he loves to score. He's Ian Wright. He loves to score. There's no way he would play under a manager like this. Not when his career started so late. This is just the same thing all the time. And it's about backing this manager. Someone's saying there, "Yeah, look, Shane, it's not about backing Arteta." Yes, it is about backing Arteta. This is the problem. This is my club. I'm not an Arteta fan, Benjamin. You've been in my chat before and you're respectful, so I'll leave you alone. But this is about backing my club, mate. This is about my club, not about a fucking manager. Not about a manager. I was dropping my little one to school today, and I saw some kid with a Cristiano Ronaldo bag. Now, it wasn't for any club or any country. It was just a Ronaldo bag, and it just hit me that this is new. This sort of backing a player or a manager like that didn't happen before. It didn't have his club. It didn't have anything like that. They're just obsessed with a player. Now, this was a kid, though. We have adults in our fucking fan base that support Arteta. I'm really getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of having to see this shit happening. We're taking another Chelsea reject. Chelsea spent this whole season getting berated for having 2 shit keepers. We're signing their 3rd shittest keeper. The 3rd shittest keeper that they have out of 3 shit keepers, and we're signing them. It's gone beyond it. You couldn't write it. You could not write what this club is like. You know what I mean? United are signing the 3 forward players I wanted. United, who aren't in Europe, are signing my dream front line. It's absolutely outrageous. They get money troubles. There was talk of them that they could go bankrupt after not making the Champions League, and they're still spending. And we can't. He is obsessed over Zubimendi and Sesko. That's it. He did it last summer. I want those 2. They said they're not available. They want to stay for another year. We'll get you someone else. Nah. Like a baby. No, this is what I want. So they wait a whole year, and we don't win the league. I still want these 2. I know it looks like he won't get Zubimendi either. I don't want Zubimendi anyway. No. He just slows the game down even more. It's just there's nothing to get excited about with this club anymore. Absolutely nothing. Right. This guy has single-handedly obliterated the club that I love, and now it's become this Arteta thing. And as Normski says, they've created this culture of mediocrity, an absolute culture of mediocrity where everything is justified. You had Moneypenny, that Alexander Moneypenny idiot who couldn't get a question right about Arsenal, saying, "Oh, Sesko reminds me of Ibrahimovic," and then you have the Mutant channel saying, "Oh, he's the new Anelka." I mean, so he's a mix between Anelka and Ibrahimovic. This donkey that got 13 goals. There's channels out there with millions of people watching him saying, "Oh, he's a mix between Anelka and Ibrahimovic," and they're just the 2 that I saw today. It's gone beyond the joke.
Ibrahimovic,
yeah, Ibrahimovic. Sorry.
I've seen the Ibrahimovic one.
Yeah,
I know. But the Zlatan and the Mutant channel are saying that, "Oh, is this the new Anelka?" That was their headline the other day. Is this the new Anelka? It's an absolute sacrilege. And because do you know what they didn't say Henry? Because a lot of the younger fans that watch that would know who Henry is, and they'd have watched him. They haven't watched Anelka; they just know he's good. So they're saying, "Oh, he's the new Anelka." It's an absolute disgrace, man. They're bigging up Kepa. I'll send them to you. It's a tweet from this Eduardo guy. I don't know who he is. Eduardo
Pagan.
Oh, Pagan.
Yeah. That
over 4 years, from 2020 to 2024, of him just obliterating Kepa. Right.
I was listening
all these tweets. And then he's got a new one saying, "Oh, Kepa, what a bit of business." And then Igal as well from 2023. Kepa's the worst signing in history. Oh, what a signing. The same with Semiu. Oh, is Kepa the worst signing in history? And then 2 years later, what a signing. These guys, man, they.
But you know what? But you know what Igal will do though, Shane, and I want you to repeat this in your Igal voice. He'll say, "Yeah, but it's only 5 million. They spent 75." How would he say it?
He already said that.
But how though? What's the Igal voice?
You want to know something? You want to know something? Chelsea spent 72 million and we only spent 5. That's good business. Yeah, because he's damaged goods, Igal. He's damaged goods. You know what I mean? If someone goes out and buys a car and they don't know anything about cars and they get completely ripped off, the thing's falling apart inside, it looks nice on the outside, they drive it home and it just falls apart. Oh, I spent 10 grand on it. And then they try and sell it for 10 grand. Someone will go, "No, that's a scrap. I'll give you 200 for it." That's what's happened with Kepa. That's all it is. He got found out.
Yeah,
but this sort of bollocks, man. You know what I mean? We're putting all this stuff up and it's there for everybody to see. And they go, "Oh, the board. Oh, well, where's the other 700 million gone? Oh, he spent that on midfielders, defenders and goalkeepers." They didn't make him. Someone came in to me, I think it was actually Benjamin, saying, the board, because we've signed that he named off Tavares and all these lads. And I said, yeah, but the board didn't sign them. He signed them. They gave him the money and he blew it. And then the other one was, "Oh, yeah, well, they want they want to finish in the top 4. They're happy." And I said, "Oh, okay, right. So they'd rather finish second than first." You know what I mean? That's the mentality. So is that why we bottled the league in 22-23? Was Arteta running away with the league? They said, "Oh, shit, the board only want me to get Champions League. I better start losing." You know what I mean? It's the mentality of these people, man. You can't even argue with them. So anyway, listen, I went a bit off kilter there, but it's just I've had a long day of listening to this shit.
Let it off, man. Sometimes you got to just let it off, man. You got to let the clip off. Let the clip off, bro.
We're fed up.
It's our club, Normski, though. It's our club, and these people are destroying
I know.
Destroying it. People say, "Oh, why do you get so annoyed about Igal and all these people?" Because they have millions of people listening to them. If they turned, the club would sack them. So they're damaging to my club, and they're all doing it for clicks and stuff. It winds me right up, man. They don't give a shit about this club, not in any way, shape, or form. Your man Pink Eye was a fucking QPR fan. Robbie was a Luton fan. What does that tell you? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
man. Picking back off a club to make money. You know what I mean? Yeah. Unfortunately, you know what I mean. Arsenal's not at the forefront of their minds when it comes to standards. And yeah, just as I say, I'm looking at that when you flashed it. So I was backstage. I'm like, what? And I haven't got my glasses on, so I thought that it said 20th.
Yeah, I did. Do you know what? At first, Norms, I promise you, that's why I made a thing of it. Because at first I thought it said 20th, because obviously it goes all the way down to 19.
That's right.
And then you see the 0 at the end, and you skim, didn't you?
Yeah.
So when I was when I'd like uploaded it to my computer, and then just before I was testing a few things on StreamYard, uploading it because I like to just make sure things are ready to and loaded. Do you know what I mean? All that crap. And I see 60 because it was bigger. I was like, oh shit! I was like, there's a big old jump. By the way, yeah, 60. If anyone in the chat hasn't seen it,
Wow.
Arsenal are 60th in Europe in terms of spending on their attack. That is madness. That's madness. Like, do you know what? I'd really have loved to have seen who was 20th and 59th. I'd have loved to have seen it. But I mean, the point is, I mean, if you've got already got Stade Rennais in there,
it's
I mean, the likes of Leeds, who have been a long time in the league below us. I mean, you've even got your rival Spurs up there that are doubling, trebling, and quadrupling. You've got Brightons and West Hams. You know, I mean, it's neglect on a biblical level. I mean, what we're doing.
I mean, you can look at this in two ways. Yeah, I'll look at it in two ways. Either the reason why we've only spent, which is is that 80 million? Is that 80 million?
Yeah, but it's probably it probably goes to about 72 million.
72 million, yeah. Hoyland type signing or
Pepe, right? Literally on the money.
72 million. Yeah, it could be one of two things. Either the reason why we've only spent 80 million is because no top striker wants to come to Arsenal under Mikel Arteta, or obviously the obvious is, I'm making a bit of tongue in cheek. The obvious is they don't care. Arteta doesn't care about strikers. We've seen it. We've seen what's happened with Aubameyang. He shipped him out. Lacazette shipped him out. All these good strikers that would giving you numbers, yeah. And we have not covered that spot since he's gone. We go and take another reject from Man City in Gabriel Jesus, who the most he's scored for Man City in a top team was, I think, 13, 14 goals. He then comes to Arsenal, ends up getting cropped. And then over 3 seasons with us, I think it was something like, if we add the 3 goals that he scored in the Premier League, I don't think he's even hit the figures of 30. I don't even think he's hit the figures of 30 yet.
Jeez.
And now we're linked with Mr. Benjamin Tesco, who apparently is not as good as Havertz, and apparently Gyökeres is not as good as Havertz. So why are we looking at them then? This is what's coming out, Aaron. This is what's coming out. The top gooners are saying this on their early morning shows. I'm giving away the clue. Yeah, you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Right?
They're counting his goals for the under 15s and under 16s as well. They keep saying he scored over 100, and you have to count his under 15s and 16s goals. I mean, this is what we're dealing with. What's the story called?
Big up, brothers. Big up.
What's the story, my brother?
Yes, my man. I'm so glad you're in the building, Kyle.
Yeah.
Do you know what? And it's a time. It's very timely. I don't. Normski, I don't know if you were finished or not.
No, I'm good. Go
ahead. Yeah. We've got the volcano in the building, man. I don't know if you've seen this. I had time to process what's on the screen, Kyle. Just in case you skimmed over it like me, my brother. Thank you very much for being on. Love you to bits, my man. Absolute legend. That says 20. It says 60, not 20, by the way. 60. Arsenal are 60th in Europe since Arteta came here on signing strikers or forward players, if you want to call that, man. I don't know how long you've had to gauge the table, but I'm sure it don't take long. What do you think of that, my brother?
Yeah, first of all, Aaron, thanks so much for reaching out to me and inviting me on the show, brother. And big up to DJB, Shane, and Ormsky, legends. I took a little bit of a break from jumping on shows over the last few weeks because I'm just so angry with this club. It's actually depressing me. And I'm looking at the likes of this Chelsea reject coming to us once again. What's the story with us buying from Chelsea? It's just so annoying. And then I'm looking at this table here in front of me. And that just sums it all up. That just tells you exactly the winning mentality that this club have. We're a joke of a club. I've been saying it for years. And look at the state of this table. Like, wake up, people. we're winning that. We're winning that again next season. And I'm listening about Sesko come to. He's a fucking donkey. You see, I'm getting angry already. And I'm only on a screen 10 seconds. But I know that this Sesko fella, he's not going to score 20, 25 goals. We need a striker that's going to score that amount of goals. And then I've been told that him and this Gyökeres fella, I can't pronounce his name, are one of the two best strikers in European football. If that's the case, the standard of football is really, really bad. We're spending 90 million on fucking Sesko. It's embarrassing. What is going on here? We're going to be on top of £1 billion under this manager. £1 billion. And look at the state of the fucking squad. And I'm looking at this table here. That's telling me everything that we've been saying this for years. I've been screaming from the rooftops. We're all here. We're all talking. We're all saying the same thing. But then we get the likes where Shane does every morning, which is absolutely brilliant. Getting onto these top gooners, making up excuses and bullshit stories. Flip-flopping all over the place. I'm fucking sick of it. I'm not excited about this new season coming. I'm not excited about this summer. Fuck's sake, I even stayed off YouTube for the last few weeks because I'm fucking depressed. I'm angry. I'm hurting. I never wears my Arsenal jersey. It's a shambles. I'm just sick of it. And every day I turn on. Listen, just because I'm not on YouTube, I'm still watching all you guys doing all the work. And every day I see things, every day, that's just depressing. And here we are again tonight. Look, just everybody look at that table. That's all you need to know. It's a joke. The fucking club is a joke.
Crazy,
mate. Do you know what? Yeah, I mean, for a start, facts. I mean, when you sort of look into this table, Chelsea spent 10 times more than we have on their forward line to try and improve. And, you know, some might say, well, look at them now. They've won trophies and got to a lot of finals in that time frame. So I'm not having none of it. I don't care what Arsenal spend. I care what they achieve, or at least what they try and achieve. I can at least say, oh, yeah, we've won a Champions League. We've won an FA Cup or got to finals, this and all that. We've completed the set in Europe. Because let's get it right. I may be slightly wrong in here, but I'm fairly sure under Arteta's tenure, maybe not the Europa Cup because that was the season before, but they've won the Champions League, the the World Club Cup, and the Europa Super Cup, whatever it's fucking called. They've nearly and then the third tier one this year. They've almost completed Europe with that money spent. By the way, almost completed Europe and a domestic trophy. Let's not forget that. PSG spent 6 times more than Arsenal Football Club in that time. They've done trebles. They nearly done a domestic invincible. They've won Champions Leagues. They've run away with numerous titles since then. Numerous titles. That's what gets spending your money. Look at Manchester City. They've spent over 5 times as much as us in that time. Since that time, they've done 4 Premier League titles in a row, something no one else has done. Taking 2 off of Arsenal and Arteta, by the way. 2 off of us. They also knocked us out the 3rd round and FA Cup again. Shock. Domestic titles. They've done the lot. They've won the they've done the Champions League the lot, all of them. They've completed the set by spending 5 times more amount on their attack. Now, yeah, the defense, you know, it's great, but ultimately, defense can guarantee you 38 points out of a game because you can draw. It's all about the attack. That's what turns draws into wins, said Mr. Arsenal. 14 draws last season, 22 goals scored less from the previous season. It's not hard to do it, is it? It's not hard to work things out. We need a strike force. Manchester United, yeah, they've blown some money on their strike force. Let's not get it twisted. And they've spent 4 or 5 times more than us as well. However, look at what the strike force they're bringing in now. Mbeumo, Cunha. Probably Gyökeres off of our hands. By the way, and we will bring this up, and I will say this again later in the show as well, by the way. Victor Gyökeres, if he goes to Manchester United over Arsenal. I don't think he'd actually choose Manchester United over Arsenal. I think Arsenal are choosing him to go to Manchester United over Arsenal by choosing Sesko, which in itself is exactly why Arsenal, one, have spent this much on their attack, and two, while they've not won anything in the Premier League. Because it's terrible, terrible, terrible player ID and profile. Choosing 43 league goals over 89 league goals. That is an absolute failure of biblical proportion. And guess what? The guy that has scored over twice as many goals is cheaper. You can't even write it. You can't even write it. It's ridiculous. But guess what as well? To add on to that frustration, Victor Gyökeres, if he signs for Manchester United, won't just be an embarrassment in itself. Guess what it'll also be? It'll be 4 to 5 years, because he will stay there for that amount of time, I reckon. I reckon he'll be at Manchester United for a little while. He will bite us in the fucking backside every single time Arsenal Football Club play Manchester United. It's written. I guarantee you. I guarantee if he plays Arsenal 10 times, he'll probably score about 12.
Over the game, wouldn't he?
Yeah, it'll be the next Harry Kane. He'll be the next Drogba. He'll be the next Costa. Strikers who terrorised us and knew what they're doing. Someone might go, yeah, well, we didn't do that when we played them in lost 5-1. Don't really make a difference, does it? It's a different league, different team. That's what they'll cry to combat my point. I don't care. This signing, if Gyökeres goes to Manchester United, screams of I will bite you in your backside for not signing me every single time I play you. We all know it in this panel. We all know it in this chat. Well, most of you do. I see there's a couple of fucking Elmer Tuntes in there. But what can you do? Do you know what I mean? That what they'll do is they'll eventually go, no, you won't. And when he scored fucking 10 and 4 against us, they'll go, oh, yeah, but, Sesko scored 7 last season. Oh, yeah, great. Yeah. Oh, well, we doubled up. We went from 60 to fucking 59. Great. Anyway, you go back down there. You've got Aston Villa. They actually have signed quite well in their forward line, by the way. And sold quite well. Aston Villa ahead of us. And Emery spent a few of that. And guess what? He pulled them up on the tables. Oh, yeah, but, he left Arsenal in a dark place, Unai Emery. No, he didn't. Arteta got us finishing 8th. This is such a concept that needs to be completely debunked, because everyone seems to think that Emery is the one that left us 8th. No, he didn't. Arteta got us 8th. Arteta got us 8th in his first half season, and then he finished 8th. And is that Emery's fault? Is that Emery's fault the first full season that he finished 8th as well, is it? Is that Emery's fault? No. He finished 5th and bottled 5th against Spurs. Is that Emery's fault? Is it Emery's fault that he bottled the title? Is it Emery's fault he bottled the title the year after? Is it Emery's fault still now? When is it not going to be Arteta's fault? It's ridiculous. You're going down and you got Tottenham there. Do you know what I mean? You got Benfica, for fuck's sake. They're a selling club. Benfica are a selling club, and they've spent 4 times more on their attack than Arsenal Football Club have. West Ham are fucking nearly got relegated last season, and they've spent 4 times more than us. Brighton are a selling club. They buy cheap and they sell expensive. They are more than us. Newcastle, fair dues. I mean, they've spent extremely well. Look at what Newcastle can do when you actually recruit well. Anthony Gordon, you've got a bit of Isak there. Do you know what I mean? They were only in the Bremo away from having a proper disgusting naughty attack. They've spent well. Stade Rennais, for fuck's sake. Leeds, Juventus are not. The point I'm trying to make is this is unacceptable, man. Arsenal, the total signings 6. Come on, man. Shall we all have a look at where these signings are coming from? I don't know if anyone wants to interject while I load it up and have a quick say, because I'll be about 2 minutes.
I was just thinking, right, it's because last season we were scoring goals. You're going to have the narrative turn around and say, oh, yeah, but we didn't, no one was moaning about a striker last season when, we were scoring goals here and we were scoring goals there. Yeah, we were. Like, not last season, the season before. Yeah, we were. We still needed a striker. I mean, when we got Jesus, it was a red flag, wasn't it? Surely the alarm bells was out with this guy. Would Man City have got rid of him if he was any good? He's been a total waste of money. Yeah. And then Man City go and sell a striker, like, and you just think to yourself, like, what is going on? But this is what's going to happen, though, Aaron, because I'm at the stage now where it doesn't matter what player comes to this football club. This manager will find ways to ruin them. He will kill them. Sesko he's bang average now. A year in after this manager, mate, he's going to be even worse. You watch him. He'll be worse.
Yeah.
He'll be absolutely dreadful.
And
everyone will be going, who have we signed here? He will be awful. Just watch. If you think this manager is going to turn Sesko into the next Erling Haaland or someone like that, you are absolutely deluded. Go and watch another channel because I'm telling you now, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah, this is what they're hoping for. And what Arteta's doing is he's obviously copying Pep, innit? Haaland, big. He goes for this guy, tall, 6'5" basketball player. I think it was. I can't remember who was taking the mick out of him and sort of saying how high he jumps, like some giraffe or some whatever it is. They was describing how high this guy can jump and all that. I couldn't care it. And he hangs in the air and all that business.
Yeah, what's the point?
Listen,
why don't we sign Spider-Man then?
When was the last time we scored a set piece? What's the point?
Exactly. We're buying a version of Man United's Højlund. That's what we're buying. Yeah, that's what we're buying.
And another thing, Nortsky, I've heard, and I don't know if the rest of the chat and the panel have heard this, but I'm hearing names of Garnacho being mentioned.
Oh, yeah, please.
Now, we have to fund United to get Gyökeres.
We'll get into that.
I mean,
get into that in a bit.
Come on. It would be absolute typical of this football club to absolutely not get the Sesko over the line. Zubimendi snubbed us. I mean, all this talk about, he's signed and he's definitely an Arsenal player. No, he's not. And he wasn't.
Do you know what the thing is with that, DJ? Sorry, DJ. Do you know what the thing is with that, though? It's so clear to anybody that Zubimendi wants to sign for Madrid. Yeah. Right? That's so clear that he wants to sign for them. So even if they don't come in for him and he ends up with us, we've just got a player that doesn't want to be here. So what we do then, we'll do what we did with Havertz and Jesus and Zinchenko. We'll quadruple his wage, or we'll 5 times his wage, and we'll be stuck with him. Another player that doesn't want to be with us. Another player like Jesus. Another player. And when we're looking at this list here at Chelsea and City, how many of those 4 players did we fund? You know what I mean? They got Cole Palmer. Chelsea got Cole Palmer because we took fucking Havertz off them. City got Haaland because we just took Zinchenko and Jesus off them. I mean, we're funding all these lads to spend their money. So we bought a load of scrubs off them, and then they spend it on top quality. It's gone beyond a joke. And then this thing about that, we'll call it last season. We'll say that the season was gone this season because it gets confusing. Last season, when the season before last, then when people are saying, we scored a load in the calendar year and all that. I've said this before. There was a period in late January, February of that 23-24 season when we had a 6-0, a 5-0, a 6-0, and a 5-1, I think. And it was against all the lower teams. If you take
West
that
out, Burnley.
There was about 30 goals scored over these games against Scrubs, West Ham, and stuff like that. We were smashing them. If you take that out, then you spread out the rest of the goals. Then you're only scoring 1-2 here and there. You know what I mean? City will do that. They'll win 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-1 all the way through the season. You know what I mean? We just had that period. If you take that out, and there's people in the chat saying, the board spent the money, Arteta didn't. One of them was in my chat today, and Benjamin, he is respectable. But I asked him a question. I said, I just want you to have a think now and find, of all these things that's wrong with our club, right? The injuries, the wages, the terrible transfers, the bottling leagues, the not getting through in the cup, all that stuff. And can you tell me if you blame Arteta for any of them? Because if you find yourself, the second you think of one going, if your first thought is, how can I make this not about Arteta? Then you're in trouble. You know what I mean? Because out of all these things, they couldn't find one that wasn't his fault. When it's all his fault, he's the manager. He's on £15 million a year to deal with this shit. And he can't deal with it. He's no man management, no in-game tactics. His talent ID is gone. I've never seen a worse manager for it. I
can't see how they keep blaming the owners. I can't see how they keep
blaming the owners when they spent so much money. They go, look, they only let him spend 80 million on forwards.
Yeah.
No, they get
as if the owners have gone out.
He chose to spend 80 million on forwards. He chose to do this. And his timing was always terrible. Like I said, funding Haaland, funding Cole Palmer, to have that mess there, Jesus. Oh, but he's going to change. He's got a winning mentality. Zinchenko's got a winning mentality. Why? They weren't starters for City ever. You know what I mean? They were never starters for City because they were in and around. You were there when they were winning, Arteta. Why don't you have a winning mentality? You were assistant at City when they were winning. Where's your winning mentality? Why are you bottling all the time? You don't have what it takes to get over the line. He never will. He never will. Oh, wait till he goes. What was it? He said, oh, yeah, wait till he goes. He'll win a Champions League with someone. And buddy, Sutcliffe said it as well. You know what I mean? He was there. And what about if Gyökeres goes to United? What about the fist bump with Berta? Was that even Berta? Of course it wasn't. This is what we're talking about. They live on lies and fallacies. So that's how they get by. And they just dress everything up. And Sesko's Ibrahimovic mixed with an Elka. And
just quickly, Shane. A little bit later on in the show, I've got something on that fist bump. So
hey,
yeah. It's only a little something, nothing too good. It just amused me, so I might as well just amuse everyone else a little bit. But go on, carry on. Sorry, bro.
No, that's it.
I
wanted to just make the point about us funding City and Chelsea. So a lot of the money they spent, and the PSG one as well. Let's get it right. That was before Enrique when they signed all the Galacticos and then got rid of them. So they've had to redo it twice. They've rebuilt their forward line twice with that money.
Yeah,
we've got Marquinhos.
I got a phone call this evening from my brother, who's a Man United fan, and he told me that Garnacho reports is that Garnacho could be going to Arsenal for 45 million.
Fuck's sake! Please don't.
That's what he said to me this evening. He said there's serious reports.
Would you be shocked?
Let's see what happens there. But he reckons that Garnacho will definitely end up at Arsenal. That's what he reckons.
Mate, yeah. I mean, we will get into that. I don't know whether to go into it now. Just quickly.
Wouldn't surprise me because we ended up with Everett.
Let's go into it now, and then I'll go into it.
He was similar to Garnacho, mate. We'll end up with Everts. We ended up with Everts for 65 million, so it wouldn't surprise me if we don't get Garnacho. Because I'm starting to think if these Sesko and these players want to come to us, you know. Because apparently, because how you've got to look at it, right, Shane and Normsky and everyone. If you have been linked with a player for that long, and you've wanted a player for that long, why has it taken all this time to actually get him over? Why has it taken all this time? Why?
Yeah,
there must be a reason. His agent or whoever's linked with Sesko, and by the way, I don't want him, must be turning around and going, hang on a minute, keep your options open.
Yeah, because he said he wanted to stay another year with Leipzig, and Zubamendi did the same. That's them saying, I want another year in case someone better comes in.
Yours. Yeah.
They're waiting for someone better to come in. They don't want to work under this man. Nobody wants to work. No self-respecting forward player wants to work under this man.
100%. 100%.
That's why we have to give them so much. That's why Sesko will get a massive, massive wage to come. A massive wage. And he'll just go, what have I done? What have I done coming here? He'll be here a week. He'll do training with Arteta and he'll go, what have I done, man?
He's probably turning around and saying, I don't want to track back. It's not my forte. Yeah. I want to operate in the final third on the edge of their box. I don't want to be tracking back and defending corners and all of that. That's not me.
Yeah. And Arteta knew this in January, TJB. He knew that he hadn't got him in the summer and was told to wait another year. So when he came out in January and started saying, I need a striker, he knew there was no chance they were getting one. None. Yeah. So he was putting all the pressure on the board. And then, and what do all the top gooners say now when you say we never signed a striker? Didn't he want one in January? How many times did he say it? He's fucking clever, man. He knew he wasn't getting one. When have you ever heard him say that he wants a striker before? Never, ever has he said it. Yeah. In fact, he gets really annoyed when they ask him about it and say, shouldn't you have a striker? And he goes, we get goals from everywhere. Then suddenly in January, he's saying it every press conference. He's never said it before. In 5.5 years, he would never, ever say it. He'd get mad when they bring it up. But he knew that he had said in the summer, Sesko's not coming. And I'm pretty sure the board would have said, do you want someone else? No, I'll wait. And then he did it in January, and he started acting the bollocks in January because he knew then all the top gooners would get behind him.
But do you know his get out of jail card, guys? What he said at the end of the season, Arteta? If we don't get the signings, we don't get. So if we don't get the Zubamendis and we don't get anyone, what did he say? I'm leaving it to them upstairs.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So he's got himself forget. So everyone will turn around and say, "Oh well, it's not Arteta's fault because he left it all to them upstairs. That's why Berta's here because of blah blah this and blah blah that." They'll swing it around again. Ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah, mate. I mean, we're sort of looking at a signing that would just typify Arsenal Football Club, wouldn't it? I mean, could you think of a winger when we're all looking? We all don't want Williams, by the way. Yeah, that's bad. Consider that's bad. We're all looking at Rodrigo's and there's other players. Blah blah blah. Wouldn't it just be Arsenal Football Club, like Shane quite rightly said, to spend ridiculous amounts of money on Garnacho to fund the fucking Gyökeres deal?
Yeah,
that is Arsenal.
Oh.
That is Arsenal. That is so Arsenal.
Yep.
And the problem is what wages would he come on? Probably 200k for some reason. And guess what would happen in a year's time, maybe 2 years' time? We gosh darn fucked up. And then we're stuck with him yet again. The next manager's stuck with him. Could you imagine a forward line? Because by the looks of this table, 60th in it, by the way, 80 million on 6 players. We're going to get into them players in a second. Could you imagine that after this 5-year wait, half a decade wait, yeah, by the way, after spending £72 million, which is actually funny because that's only 10% of the actual money you spent. That is mad in its alone. We all say he spent 750 million, yeah? He spent 10% on that, on the forward line. And that involves 3 players. That's just not a striker. That's 3 players. That in itself is nearly a quarter of the squad. It's a major part of it. How mad is that? Yeah. I mean, that's baffling. Is it a little bit worrying now? Because I think people kind of over. I'm like you, Norms. Yeah, I watch a specific morning show, and they all are taking the piss out of us, or trying to anyway. I mean, it's ridiculous. Of saying that it must be horrible being us because we're angry all the time. It's because we care, and most of you don't for shit. And they're sort of saying, well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. You know, what we do, and we got trust in the manager. And this is why I want to take it to my next little bit in a minute. And I'll bring you in, Norms. Would that fill you with confidence? Because this is what I want to ask before I go into the next little bit, which links into this. Does that fill you with confidence who we're linked with? Because what Arsenal Football Club, Norms, are linked with God knows how many players anyway. We all know that we can't get them. Otherwise, we'd have a squad like Chelsea's with about 50, 60 players in it. But when you're looking at the Garnachos, the Williams, the stronger links, and then the Sescos, are you going into the season like that? I think this could be Arsenal's year.
Listen, I said this on DJB's show, yeah? What I think Arsenal do is get players that can just do a job. That's it. Just do a job. Not get us over the line, not win us significant titles or nothing. Just do a job. Just do enough to just keep us in that top 4. Or in our case, second place FC. Yeah, that's it. We can't do any more than that. We won't go out and get those marquee signings or those big time players that can grab the game by the scruff of the neck and take us over the line. We ain't got any players like that. We haven't. Think about it. Listen, I love Saka. Yeah, I love Saka, but I don't think. I know some people say they call him Star Boy and all that. Yeah, but I've seen the likes of Sanchez and what he's done. Yeah, we have to go back to look at the players that could take the game by the scruff of the neck and win us a game, win us a very important game. And I don't see that with this current crop of players that we've got. And the players that we are linked with are coming in. I mean, Garnacho, for a start, he's got an attitude problem anyway, right? So I don't even know if he would even fit our clubs. He's not. He might look like an AI character, right? But for me, I don't want to see. I'm just hoping it's clickbait. I'm just hoping it's clickbait concerning Garnacho. Yeah, we need somebody like a Rodrigo. We need someone. I mean, I'm being told that the Rodrigo deal, we're well short of that. Because Florent Perez wants more than 70 million. Now, if we are serious, as we're saying, we want to be a serious club, and to go in for these top players, then go and pay them the money. Stop short going in and low balling, because that's all Arsenal do. We're known for low balling. We going at low ball. Yeah, we're cheapskates. That's what it is. We won't go in and do what is necessary. So, and I go back to, we've built a culture of mediocrity since this guy has come into power. Yeah, since this guy's taken over the club, we have accepted mediocrity. He came in and said, "Yeah, I'm going to change the whole culture of this club." Yeah, first thing he did was told Lacazette, yeah, stop doing that training. Yeah. Then he started breaking unnecessary records, losing against Burnley, losing against Aston Villa, losing against Wolves. I said, nah, you ain't good enough, guy. Yeah, you ain't good enough. Just because you worked under Pep doesn't mean to say what you're going to do is going to now translate into trophies. Yeah, you have to know what it means to manage a club. Yeah, you need to have gone and apply your trade with a lower league or whatever. But no, you decided you're going to come in and take over the massive club of Arsenal, and now you can't handle it. And now all the excuses comes out for this guy. Teflon, Arteta, it never sticks with this guy. Goalpost move for this guy. Whatever they can do to protect this guy from losing his jobs, these top gooners will do it. And we're fighting, we're here, the little corner of us here are fighting this battle to try and bring standards back to the club, but we're just called negative. No, it's not. It's about standards. We've seen what this club has done in the past, and we want to get back to those levels. But if you say, you're too entitled, what do you mean we're too entitled? Because you haven't seen Arsenal win leagues or whatever. You haven't seen Arsenal win leagues or lift trophies, mate. 21 years. If somebody told me after 2004, after we went invincible, that we will not win another league title, I'll be like, you're having a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be. Listen, somebody said something in the chat to me, in another chat, right? And I looked at, I thought, I don't know. You've probably seen it, yeah. The Emirates Stadium will be 20 years old next year, and not one league title has graced the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So 2026, the following year, when we moved into the stadium, it will be 20 years old, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And not one league title has passed. That is crazy. That is mad.
That's ridiculous.
And that's why I said is that we could actually go and catch up with Liverpool in terms of when they didn't win the league for 30 years.
They were coming up to 30. They were 29 years coming up to 30, yeah. And I spent the 10 years leading up to that slagging my Liverpool mates to death about, it's coming up to 30, it's coming up to 30. And now I'm going to have to deal with that, man. You know what I mean? And that's fair enough because I brought it on them. But it's because of the mentality, like you say, Norms. It's just they've been so clever with just making it, turning it now that they're just all these soy boys going to the games and we're the most fashionable club and the sexiest Spaniard and all this bollocks, man, that our club is being painted with. And it's just made everybody think that we should be happy. And Views makes such a great point when he says, if this club wants to be run like, say, a QPR, if we're just going to be a spicy QPR and we're just going to be middle of the road and challenging is a bit of fun, and if we don't win anything, we were still in it for the journey and we were in it for the fun and maybe a cup run and we should all be happy. If that's what they're going to do, then just be honest with us. Tell us, let us know where we stand, and then start dropping your prices and stop charging 20 quid for a burger and stop bringing out merch every month. If you want to run like a middle of the road club, that's fine. Just tell us where we stand. Let us know. And stop charging 120 quid for a kit for my kids and stuff like that. I mean, run it like a smaller club. And this is what we are now. Because of this, we've become like a small club. And I will disagree on Aaron with this, where he said that he thinks Gyökeres would pick, I've said for months, I think Gyökeres would take United over us any day of the week. And I will stick by that. Even without Champions League, I think he'd take them over us for the sheer reason that if he goes there, it's Amarin's system, the one he had at Sporting, everything will be built around getting him goals. Where if he comes to us, it's the complete opposite. The complete opposite. And I genuinely think that he would choose United over us. But if they do get him, right, they have the front line that I wanted. A team that finished 15th, man. A team that finished 15th. And we could end up with a forward that finished 7th and scored 13 goals and a winger that played for the team that finished 15th. You know what I mean? It's outrageous when you think about it like that. It's outrageous when you think about it like that.
When you say it out loud, it becomes real, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
It becomes real when you say it out
and
loud.
this is what we're doing. And he'll come out, guys. But it just proves that he just wants projects so he can go, look at me, I'm a genius. Look what I got out of this player. Look what this player, we're like a fucking like a pound for lost puppies, where we go in and we take all the, we'll take you over here. We'll make you good again. And it's gone beyond a joke. Like, I mean, and I'm saying that like that. And don't be surprised if what I said there happens. If they, because I do think Gyökeres will go to them over us. I think he'd go to Chelsea or Liverpool above all. You know what I mean? Because again, he'd get goals and he'd get the money. But we're last on his list, man. We are last on. I think he'd genuinely stay in Portugal another year if we were the only club left in. And I mean that because he does not want to work under this manager. It's nothing to do with the state of the club. It's nothing to do with, Arsenal aren't a big club anymore, because we really are. No matter how much they try and bring us down to the level of the PR and Arteta's nonsense and the few people in the chat that seem to think everything's fine. But because he's a gunman and he wants goals, and he'll never ever get them. He'll never ever get them under this manager.
But I thought,
go on, Dave.
I thought Berta coming in was going to stop all this nonsense. I thought Berta coming in was going to put his foot down, and I thought he was, I thought he was going to get the ball rolling, and I thought he was going to stop all this nonsense that we've had to put up with all these years, coming in for players and everything else. I'm convinced he's being dangled. I'm convinced now that Arteta's still got all the ammo to fire. I really am, and I've said it all along. We're in a scary situation when one man is bigger than the football club, and I truly believe that this manager is bigger than the football club. I really do.
At the minute, 100%. Let me just jump in with these. Go on, sorry, Dee.
I was just going to say that is frightening. That is frightening that one man is bigger than the history and everything this football club stands for. Yeah,
that's frightening, man. Big up to James as well from E20 Zone TV, man. Make sure you go over and give him a follow. He's an absolute geezer. If you did want the link, James, just send us a text, and we can make that happen, man. But yeah, he's saying Kepa on his way, lads.
Yeah.
Don't remind us, mate. Yeah, much love from E20 and all the way back to you, my brother. Could be worse. You could have David Sullivan in charge. That, I suppose, is true to some smaller extent, in charge of your football club, 100%. All the best, gents. Aaron, love, man. James, come on, man. Love always, brother. And like I said, my friend, the Kepa thing's wild. And this is a point. You've got West Ham outspending us. They're showing more ambition on that. I know you're a little bit pissed off of your own, it's just like we are. But at least you might not end up with Garnacho ruining the whole lot. At least you ain't got Kepa, but you don't even want Kepa. Why have we got Kepa? Just quickly on Kepa. Chelsea, like Shane, I think, was it earlier that said, they don't even want Kepa. If Kepa's so good as a number 2, why didn't Chelsea keep him? If Kepa's so good as a number 2, why didn't Liverpool sign him? Why didn't Liverpool sign him after selling Kelleher if he was that good and that good of a market opportunity? Why did no one else try and sign him? Why did Real Madrid not keep him? I don't understand it. But this is the narrative that they spill on that. They're like, oh yeah, but he cost 75 million, and now he costs 5 million. What a bargain! How demented do you have to be as a person to actually think that that's good? Like that's so bad. That's so borderline. I believe a bit retarded. If you actually look at that and think we've made a bargain, like we're not signing the best keeper in the world for 5 million that they spent 75 million on. We're just signing him on a release clause that he had because he was so shit that was implemented. I mean, what are we doing here? Like,
I think he's the best of shit, to be honest. I think it's typical Arsenal Football Club. But I think if you're going to sign a goalkeeper, at least don't go and spend stupid money. If you're going to be stupid, don't go and spend stupid money. I think as a backup keeper, he's probably the best we're going to get this out there at the moment.
Is he better than Hine or Setford? Is he better than what we have? I don't think he is. That's my point.
Shane, he probably won't be better than what we've got. But at the end of the day, it's Arsenal, isn't it? And you know what Arsenal are going to do. I'd rather them spend...
I'm glad they didn't spend 30, 40 million.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd rather them spend 5 million. I'd rather them spend 5 million on a goalkeeper with some Premier League experience.
But I'd take that over a big signing, but I'd still rather them just promote one.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, if they're going to be absolutely stupid and absolutely bonkers, which we all know the football club is, I'd rather them be stupid and bonkers and only spend 5 million on a goalkeeper with some experience than spend 10, 20, 30 million on a goalkeeper with hardly any experience. That's my logic behind it anyway.
Yeah, no, that's facts. Gianni, big up to you, Gianni. Come on, man. If Zubameni comes in with Sesko, where'd you play Odegaard? Left wing. Garnacho, 40 million. For the bench. I'd take Bowen over him. Facts.
Yeah.
Arteta is mindless. I mean, 400%. Get Mancini in. Yeah, you've said about Mancini.
Yeah.
I'd definitely have Mancini in
I'll
over
take him in a heartbeat.
Arteta as well. 100%. Arteta out, top Gunners out. Facts, man. Do you know what I think? I think he likes Declan Rice, doesn't he? I think now as the 8. So I reckon he'll pay Zubimendi as the 6, you know? And I just don't think he's got the legs as it. Zubimendi as the 6, doing that on his own is not what Partey does. Partey's got a bit of an all-round in terms of maybe a less so now with age, but athleticism, nicking the ball, forward passes, dropping the shoulder to wriggle out of tight spaces. I don't think Zubimendi has a lot of that. So I reckon having Zubimendi as a lone 6 would leave him exposed like if you left Jorginho as a lone 6.
Yeah.
You know, that stinks of that to me. Now, maybe I'm wrong and he'll play Zubimendi left 8 and then he'll bring Declan Rice at 6. But I reckon he likes Declan Rice at left 8. I genuinely do, which means that surely there's only one position. So I reckon maybe he'll bring Zubimendi down at 6. But that's worrying because we're then spending 50 million. Okay, there's an age side of the things. But then we're spending 50 million to downgrade from Thomas Partey, who I shouldn't say probably, who we might let go for free.
Yeah.
That is then worrying in itself.
Aaron,
that just worries me in itself.
Yeah, I mean, we need to keep him. We need to keep Partey because if we end up losing him, now it means that we need to go and now find another midfielder, or is he going to shuffle the pack? Because we're going to be short in that midfield. Is the engine room for all clubs.
Yeah, Norski, I don't know about anyone else, but I think we've got to forget about his Zubimendi and move on. I don't see him coming to the club. I don't see him coming to the club.
Yeah, too much.
Because I'm not being funny. I'm not being funny, but if we was going to get Zubimendi, that deal would have been announced. For how long we've been linked with him, for all the other channels and the top gooners saying, oh, he's Zubimendi's at Arsenal. We had pundits on the radio saying he's signed for Arsenal. Arsenal have got their man. He's definitely coming. You would have had him announced by now.
Yeah.
When United was linked with Cunha for a week, he was announced on the 1st of June.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got the Wolves guy who's signed today. Yeah. That's what I'm to say. We are planning when it comes to Arsenal and our forward planning for targets. We're not very good at it. Yeah. Liverpool again, right? They knew that they were going to lose Trent. Yeah. What do they do? Frimpong sewn up even before the window was officially open. Yeah. Exactly. They know that they need a left back. Yeah. For the Bournemouth guy. Yeah. They're now dealing with the Florian Wirtz thing. Yeah. That soon be wrapped up.
Exactly. But I mean, I think I've said it with Shane and I think Shane and that said it with me. We can save so much money in this midfield position because all we need to do is take Skelly from left back, put him in midfield, turn him into the attacking type midfield player we need. Along with Partey, then you've got Skelly as your attacking midfield player.
Like Morgan Rogers. He's the same kind of player as Morgan Rogers.
Yeah, right. And then go and make a left back out of your endless signings you've already made, or go and buy a left back.
But just going back to the left back situation,
go and buy one.
We have not sorted out a left back. We have not sorted out a left back. Calafiori is not a left back. Yeah, Calafiori is a left-sided centre back. He's not a left back. He's too big to play that. We've seen it. We see how he gets twist up. One-on-one. He's good going forward, doing his chaos thing that what Arteta calls him chaos. Is chaos in the box. But when it comes to one-on-one defending, that guy gets turned left, right, and centre, inside out. So the problem is we have not addressed that left back. When I say we have not addressed, we've addressed it, but we've brought in a midfielder that we've now tried to convert into a left back, which is Zinchenko, does better in the 8. Yeah, Skelly, who the only reason why he's in and playing at left back is because he's actually a number 8 playing in the academy. He was a number 8 playing in the academy, but now because we had injuries, he said, right, we're going to play you at left. That's your only way into the team. We do not have a natural left back because our natural left back now has gone to Celtic on a free. Yeah, we've had him all these years. He won't use him because he's so infatuated about playing inverted left backs. What we need to go and do is go and get a left back, a proper left back, yeah? And this is where you can save money and bring Skelly, as you said, into that.
How much does Tierney cost? Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's madness,
you keep Tierney. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so what was wasted out? How was it over 200 million on left backs?
Yeah. Half the players at the football club are not good enough anyway.
You know what the mad thing is, Norms? Yeah. If we signed Kieran Tierney for £10 million, that would be an unbelievably good signing. How mad is that?
Absolutely. Was he 27? Is he 27?
He's something like that. Yeah. He's entering peak years. I know he's had his troubles, but you know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
I'd just like to say, that Super Mendy deal, it's not happening.
No.
100% it's not happening.
It would happen, wouldn't it, Kyle?
I was on someone's show, maybe it was Shane's show or Views or someone like that a couple of weeks ago. And I say that there was, maybe Normski, I was told by a contact at Arsenal Football Club that Super Mendy is now coming to Arsenal. And I 100% believe that. I was told that 2 weeks ago. And I 100% believe it. So I'm here, when I hear people talk about Super Mendy, I'm like, don't be talking about Super Mendy, lads, guys. He's not coming.
No.
Not coming.
That would have been announced by now. Frelong and all the definites. That would have been the first kind of big announcement.
Absolutely.
I thought it would have been the first announcement before any signing this summer window.
Absolutely.
Yeah. As soon as the 1st of June opened, I was expecting to say, "Yeah, we've signed, sealed, and delivered. Let's go. I'm yours." Yeah.
Mate, it's been a done deal about 8 times.
Yeah,
and it's still not done. Like this is one of the things that people combated me about the Berta thing when they're saying, "Oh yeah, but you know the Zubimendi deal's so far down the line, the Sesko deal's so far down the line." All right, so why is it not done then? Why are people starting fresh new deals and getting them completed in the time that we've been having this for a year? Doesn't that even make our transfer business even worse?
Look
the
at
fact that we've been doing this deal for a fucking year and the window's been over nine days, and even still teams are eclipsing us with fresh new deals.
Aaron, I don't even know if this Sesko deal is true either, because I'm hearing around the campfire that Havertz is going to be our number 1 try striker for the coming season.
He'll start the first Premier League game, guaranteed.
So where do we go from there? So is the like?
Yeah,
we're a fucked up club.
It's pointless. Do you know what I fear? And this is a scenario, right? And when we say fear, it's like, oh, they're panicking over this side of the fence. No, we're not. We've got years of this thing happening to us to warrant why we feel like this. We're not just like it's never happened before, and we're all like, oh yeah, we're acting like this. This has happened to us time and time and time again. And I'll tell you the scenario right now, yeah? This Sesko deal, Leipzig, right? Because it seems like we're not that interested. Or we're going off of the Gyökeres deal, right? And there's not many other strikers about, right, that we want. That's fact. So it's almost like a 2 race, yeah? I think that's sort of fair to say at the minute, to assume there's 2 strikers that we're in for. And one of them, i.e. Sesko, is the top one. Leipzig know this, yeah? Leipzig know this, which means who's got the power in terms of negotiation? Arsenal or Leipzig? Now, Leipzig have got that one, and I'll tell you for why. Because now, Manchester United and Gyökeres seem to have their leg turned. Okay, his head turned, rather. So now what does Leipzig do? They've got a little bit more power. So they're going, okay, well, Arsenal Football Club have spent 80 million euros in the last 5 years on a striker, and now they desperately need a striker. They seem like our strikers now, their number 1 choice in striker. Oh, you'll have to pay a little bit more for him now then. And I reckon this now will drag and drag and drag. I don't reckon Sesko and drag. Yeah, exactly. Not and drag and drag. I don't reckon this Sesko deal gets done anytime soon. It probably will, but I can see Arsenal's pants being right pulled down here because their agent is going to do the same thing. Let's just not forget, it's not Leipzig, it's their agent as well. Their agent's going to go, yeah. Leipzig's just had your pants pulled down, ain't ya? Oh, and guess what? Guess what, Edu? Sorry. Guess what? Berta. Guess what, Mikel? We're going to do exactly the same to you because now that we've made you pay overpriced for this player, guess what we're going to do? I reckon this runs down. And the longer it goes, like any transfer, we see it last year with Mikel Merino. We see it last year as well with Calafiori. They let it drag on. They let Arsenal get desperate. And the Merino one was desperate. 1 year left on his deal. 35 million quid, 130 million pound, 130k a week in wages for a guy at the start of the window in June. Said, I want to go to Arsenal. Arsenal said, I want him. Sociedad said, we're going to sell him to Arsenal. Sociedad said, we're going to sell him. Why did it take all fucking summer? Like, the links were ramped up in the last 6 weeks, but why did it take 6 weeks to get Geezer with 1 year left on his deal? That also wasn't being chased by anyone else, by the way. No one else wanted him. No one else wanted him. Why did it take that? So now we're getting into a high-profile striker. And there's not that many players in the forward line. Let's get that right. That are out there. It's a poor generation for strikers. But this is what's going to happen. This Sesko deal ain't getting done next week or the week after, because then I think the window's shut on or whatever, but I'm not really clued up with all of that. I would be gobsmacked if then in the next 3 or 4 weeks he's even done a medical. And I bet you any money, what I'm saying to you right now, the money's going up and up and up. Because the longer we leave it, the more targets we let go. We can't flip-flop anymore, because if Gyökeres to Manchester United starts getting concrete, Leipzig are going to be like, so who's your alternative then, mate? Who's the alternative? Anyone? No. You want Arguiza now, do you? Yeah, that's right. Bend over, boy. Bend over, boy. And yeah, you dropped the soap, did you, son? That's what Arsenal were going to do. That's what Arsenal will get done to them, rather. And it's not going to be pretty. Prison settings. It's not going to be pretty. You don't want to drop that soap, and that's what Leipzig are going to do to Arsenal Football Club. And we leave ourselves in a weak position. Arsenal wanted Sesko, and the deal was so far done. People are saying, oh, yeah, well, it was done last year. And I'll tell you why it was done last year, because, we stayed with Leipzig for 1 year to get that money, and then there was a gentleman's agreement. All right, then, let me combat that within 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 seconds. Why didn't we just buy him last summer for half the price, loan him back out, and give him a pay rise? There you go. That took me 4 seconds.
Because we had
Edu.
Because we had Edu, and he was a clown just like Arteta.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, one half of the circus got out, and the other one's still there, isn't he?
It's absolutely ridiculous. When you go, I need to sort it quick.
I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, there's not many strikers to choose from, is there? But I mean, if you're gonna have limited strikers to choose from, at least go for the better one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why would you go for
the thing is, it said that Gyökeres is a risk, merely down to the fact of because of his age. Yeah, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? How is his risk at 27? A guy that's banging in 30 plus goals per season, yeah, and he's a risk. Risk what? Because you can't sell him on because he hasn't got a ceiling. But yet you're going to go for a guy that's banged 13 goals and he's 22, and 3 to 4 years down the road he's going to become a world-class striker. We don't know that. We don't know that.
Yeah.
We don't know that.
It's like Julian Alvarez.
But because it's Arteta's man, yeah, everybody, all the top fans are going to say, yeah, that's it. We want him. Yeah, because everybody, when Gyökeres was fashionable, everybody was crying out, yeah, we got to get Gyökeres. Yeah. Soon as the Sesko thing come on there, they just moved. We've stuck with Gyökeres. Yeah. I looked at his stats. Yeah. His stats. It's regressive.
Let's remember that as well, Normski, that I think it's 8 or 9 players in the Bundesliga alone scored more goals than him.
That's right.
Just in that league.
He's
scored more. Marmoush scored more in the half season he was there.
Exactly.
Before he went to City.
He's strike partner. Okay, last season he didn't have a thing, but maybe he plays in a 2. Yeah. Sesko is it Apenda? Is that his pronounce of his name? Yeah, he played in a 2. The season before that, he scored 20 plus goals.
Yeah, sure. Nkunku got 20 odd goals for him.
Yeah.
Werner scored goals.
Werner. Yeah, Timo.
Yeah.
Normski.
But this is it. Sorry,
Shane. Now go on. No. I've got something to say, but just before I do, Suge, big up to you, brother. Big up to the chat. Make sure you follow to everyone, guys. Time to hold your handles in your seats. I've got some breaking news. Yeah, This is an exclusive, right? My own exclusive. And it's about transfers. So I went on holiday yesterday, yeah? Just for a little day break. And you will never guess what happened. Never guess what happened. I bumped into Mikel Arteta. Anyways, yeah. I was bamboozled. Absolutely bamboozled. I was starstruck by his beauty, of course. I mean, I confirm he is the best Spanish-looking man I know. Honestly, absolutely. Symmetry on his eyebrows were unbelievable. And I've got proof as well. I've got proof. There you go. You see, I met him. So anyways.
There's no way you're taller than him, man.
I mustered up the courage. Don't worry. I'm patient. Don't worry, yeah. Anyways, I went up to him, once I mustered up the courage. And I said, Mikel. I was like, is that you? And he reached out his pocket. And in his pocket, he pulled out a 3-pack of light bulbs and a lemon. And he said, oh, wrong pocket, guys. Sorry. No problem. I was patient. I was a patient man. I waited to reach into his other pocket. And he produced his iPhone. And to prove it was him, he showed me a rather racy pic of him and Win the dog. Might be kids watching. I shan't explain any further. Anyways, he unlocked it. And I was like, whatever floats your boat, bro. But, cool. Okay. I said, Mikel, is it true we're after transvestite Garnacho and the lesbian in Sesko? And he said, and Mikel goes to me, he was like, are these the signings you want? And I said, listen, fuck off, you little prick. Are we actually signing this shit? And he gave me a fist bump. There we go. I can confirm it. Arsenal Football Club are indeed signing Garnacho and Sesko. And there's your proof. I saw him on holiday, guys. It's worrying. So now we've got the obviously 100% legitimate proof.
I believe you, Aaron. I believe you, Aaron.
There you go. I met him and his wife. And his wife. There you go. It's clearly me. It's worrying. And there's all the proof you need, guys.
Do the smoke smirk.
What can you do? It's official.
That's
We're
it.
signing them.
We're done, mate. We're finished.
Yeah.
It's worrying, isn't it?
Come on, let's all fist pump Aaron. Come on.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, start calling me Mr. Exclusive, mate. Do you know what I mean? There we go. How'd you like that? Fucking knobhead Christian. Do you know what I mean? You're not the only one with exclusive nonsense. What are we doing here, eh? What can you do? Smirk and all of that. Absolute madness. What we doing here, man? Fuck's sake. I just couldn't help myself. I nearly done it on Dan Potts's. But do you know, like sometimes when it doesn't come round to you properly, I was waiting for Dan after he said that live, and I'd already had something in my brain ready to go. I'm like, when Dan says, "Oh, what you got coming up next?" and all of that, I was gonna drop it then, and he just went round really quick and got rid of it. I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
What annoys me about it is when you watch that footage, when he says that story and he does the fist and says, "You got him." I say, "Yeah, that didn't happen." But people started talking at the time, and I can only hear it because I know I said it. But I said live, I said, "Yeah, that didn't happen." But loads of people are talking, you can't really hear it. It's like, fuck, I wish I had said it. I wish I had said it louder. You know what I mean? That it made it. But
it's funny, isn't it, man? When he said that, I mean, what were we doing here, man? Like that was just a peak gooner, top gooner, letting himself down at a biblical level and just showing exactly why they need to be exterminated. I mean, it was just a madness, but I couldn't help myself. It's just all for a little laugh. But guess what? Here we've got on top of the horrendousness of what we just see on how much we've spent and all of this la da 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 da. I've also can show you what we've spent all our money on. And this is just absolutely ridiculous. So these are all the transfer windows, yeah? Do you know what? It's actually quite funny, that we started off his first summer window right here. Thomas Partey Magalhaes. Now looking back on it, it's actually quite a good window just that and alone. But then he decided to sign Pablo Murray on the permanent, and then he loaned Odegaard. And then he did sign Runnison. And then for some reason was impressed with Cedric Suarez's loan, even though he was injured for it. and give him 75k a week as well, by the way. And then we signed Willian. There we go. That's our number one. See, when he signed, seeing that stat where it said, he spent 8 players, he signed 8 players in the forward line. This is number one, by the way. There's number one, Willian, for free. In that summer, he also let go Guendouzi, who yes, Gianni, I did read that thing. I will get back to that in 2 seconds. He let go Guendouzi for a loan again. Pathetic. A keeper, again. Look at who he replaced him with. Look, we signed Runnison. Sold Emi Martinez in the same window. But look, only one signing in Willian. Let's go up. What does the next one look like? What does the next one look like? Let's have a little goosey. Let's see where he spent it on. So departures. Yeah, Willock, Torreira again, loan fee. Look at the state of this. And the whole thing about why I'm doing this is, by the way, is this is the regime, the system that we are trusting in over the last 5 years. This is the crap. And he's going to make the Niles loan fee because we can't sell him. Free transfer. David Luiz, free transfer. Willian, after a year. Bye-bye. Free transfer. Dylan Iliev, free transfer. Aubameyang, free transfer. Chambers, free transfer. Trusty loan. Another Guendouzi loan because we can't seem to sell him. We had all the shit in centre-back and we still decided to let Saliba go back on another loan. Nelson on another loan. Runnison, that didn't last too long then, did it, Miguel? Look, straight away. Bellerin on another loan. Murray, look, you had him for 1 year and already loaned him back out. That's the signings that Mikel Arteta's making, by the way. Look, 2 of his first signings already out on loan for the next year. Absolutely shambolic. So what are the signings that he brought in up front? Okay, Tavares. He's gone. He spent 2 loans and now he's sold. Somebody calling, how did that go on? Like Tomiyasu has been here the longest and he's probably played the least minutes out of them 2 because he's been so fucking injured. Ramsey, goalkeeper. Odegaard, that didn't quite work out. Alan Ben White. Okay, no striker then. No striker then. Let's have a little look. And Aubameyang's gone at this point, by the way. Yeah. What about this then? Let's have a little goosey. He's replaced him with Gabriel Jesus. Yeah, who's most seasons scoring at front. 14, 10, 4, 14 league goals. Hasn't got 10, I don't think, for Arsenal Football Club. That's great. It signs Fabio Vieira, 35 million instead of Vitinho. That's cool. And Zinchenko, there you go. That was our summer. And then he brings in Leo Trossard as well. 24, not too bad. Kivior and Jorginho. Look who he sells. Guendouzi, pathetic. Torreira, pathetic. Leno, pathetic. Lacazette, another striker gone, pathetic. Now we've got no forwards. Pepe, loan transfer before he sells him for free. Flo Balogun, a loan transfer. Look at all these strikers that he's letting go. And what's he bringing in, everyone? He's bringing in Marquinhos. Look, how did that go? 1 year later, loan transfer. How did that go? This is all the business that you've got to be thinking about. And this is why I'm showing everyone. Signs him. Transfer, loan transfer again. That's mad, isn't it? Signs him after a year and then flogs him. Matt Turner, how did that one work out? We'll see next year. He loans him out and all. But look at this. We signed Gabriel Jesus. Leo Trossard. Leo Trossard's been not too bad, but what a waste this is. Like Shane said earlier, this funded Haaland. How did that work? This absolutely funded Haaland as well, Zinchenko. Why has Zinchenko not played for the last 2 years, by the way? Why has he been loaned back to Porto, by the way? These are the transfer businesses that this football club's doing. And when all these top gooners are going to us, you need to trust the manager, trust the process, trust the system. Look how fucking shit the system is. Look how bad this is. Shall we keep going? Look, there we go. Lukonga is gone out for another loan. Another loan. Another loan. Why are we not selling him? He's gone for a free transfer. Shock. Free transfer. Shock. Free transfer. Shock. In the same thing. What are we doing here? How mad is that? Bye-bye again. Bye-bye again. So all of your signings that you're making, within a year, you're either loaning them, or selling them. Nuno Tavares. There's another one. Look, Austin Trussy, there's another one. Murray yet again. What did I say to you? Turner as well, bye-bye. Most of his signings are going bye-bye after a year because he has no talent ID. Kieran Tierney, why the fuck was he loaned out? Why was he loaned out? Granit Xhaka, when he turned good, you binned him off. Flo Balogun, whatever you say about it, I can understand that they did decide to sell him. If you bought in a replacement, call in Kai Havertz, who he signed as a midfielder, so not a direct replacement. You're in Timber, not bad. Declan Rice, we can all count that. Raya was, I can at least agree with that. Marquinhos, no. Ronison, why is he still back coming in? Albert Sambi-Lokonga. Now we're going to go back up. Oh, look, Cedric Suarez without a club still. Nelson, bye-bye. Tavares still lingering around. Sambi-Lokonga, he's going to replace Jorginho. I've told you this. El Neni's gone Tala. There we go. We've loaned out Fabio Vieira for a loan fee of 700 million quid. Well, 700k, sorry. What are we doing here? Ramsdale, bye-bye. That's about 19. Oh, we lost money on him. Eddie Nketiah, cool, replace him. Who did we replace him with? Mikel Mourinho, apparently. And Calafiori. And then we signed David Raya. But we accompanied that with Raheem Sterling, Ethan Nwaneri, and Miles Lewis-Skelly got promoted from the first team. So we can't count that. And then Marquinhos come back. The point what I'm trying to make is to everyone is look at the state of the business that we've done that has occurred over 5 years. Of course we don't trust anyone. Of course we don't trust how this company do business. It's damning, isn't it? When you look at who we've brought in, look at the shower of shit windows that we've had in terms of incomes and outgoings over the last 5 years. And everyone's wondering why it got to that, and everyone's wondering why we're not in a great shape, why we're a little bit fucking down on our fucking dumps with signings, why we're a bit pissed off that guy Nacho could come through the door and Sesko could come through the door. Come on, DJB, help me out here, brother.
It's just a mess, isn't it? I mean, there you go. They're all his signings. They're all under his reign.
Yeah.
Players that he's brought in and not been able to get the best out of because he can't coach, because he can't manage them. So any player that looks okay, that's a bargain that we ain't paid a lot of money for, you say to the manager, okay, well, what can you do with them? Like Marquinhos came in, didn't he? He looked promising. Played in a couple of friendlies and a couple of games or some solo efforts here. And you think, well, he's got something about him. But this manager couldn't get nothing out of him.
Yeah.
You know, you've got established players falling off the end of off an end of a cliff. You got Martinelli that's gone backwards. Trossard's gone backwards. All these players have declined under him. So what chance have you got when someone comes in as a market opportunity, a player like Sambi-Lokonga or someone like that, you know, who you think, well, okay, we ain't paid too much for him. Give him a go, see how he goes, see how he's going to play in the team. Under a Klopp or someone like that, might have turned out a decent player. But under this manager, you can't have... With this manager, you can't have any transfers or any player coming in learning their trade or that are a bargain. Because this manager will not know how to get the best out of them. And, you know, you look at all of that, what you've just shown now, and I'm really scratching my head of anything that's got me excited under this manager. Apart from the Declan Rice signing, Raya, Timber, I'm kind of, you know, I'm really, really struggling. You know, there might be, I mean, Ben White's come in and played right back as a default, but he was brought in as a centre half and then sort of went right back because of injuries. And now he can't get back to being a centre half because he's become like a backup right back. And I'm just struggling to find out. I mean, the money that's been wasted there. Look at the money that's been wasted. And the only thing that I would go to the Cronkies for is that they've given him this money. They've seen what he's done with it. And instead of turning around and going, you've just made a clown out of me. I've given you all this money and look what you've done with it. I'm sacking you now. You haven't done your job. They've not. They gave him another contract and more money. That's the only reason, that's the only thing I'm holding against these Cronkies, because they are now not showing a hand or showing the balls to get rid of him after all these misdemeanors and all these dealings and these signings that he's done and the crap he's dished up with. And people are going to be looking at this and going, oh, he's negative and look at this and look at this. The problem is, guys, is I've renewed my season ticket this year, okay? So I'm going into my sort of 51st year of supporting this football club, going to matches. And when I look at things like that, what Aaron's just shown us, I take it personally, because that's my money that they're taking the piss out of. That's what they're doing. They're taking the piss out of me personally, and they're taking the piss out of other fans like me now. You know, like your Kenny Kens that go, and Aaron that goes, and people like this, and thousands of other fans that go. They're not taking the piss out of, you know, the likes of all these top gooners. Do you know what I mean? They're taking the piss out of all these people. And I'm just thinking to myself, how's he getting away with it? And then I'm coming out and expressing my feelings about all of this. And people are saying, oh, yeah, but, you know, you got to trust this and trust that and trust this and trust that. I had trust in him when he first came.
Yeah.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt when he first came. When he got the FA Cup, I'm thinking, okay, he's a young manager. He's learning his trade. Don't agree with learning your trade at Arsenal, but okay, give him the benefit of the doubt. And we started to play some half-decent football, and I'm thinking, well, okay, yeah, give him a go. Then he started to make signings. Then I was seeing Pablo Mari being signed, Austin Trusty, Sambi Lakonka, Tavares. And I'm thinking to myself, what is going on here? And then it was getting worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then Marquinhos was coming in. Then I was looking at all the goalkeepers he was signing. Then I was looking at him signing centre halves and playing them at left backs. And now I'm looking at midfield players that can't cut it in midfield are now playing up front. And one of those signings he's played up front towards the end of the season are better than Havertz, that's been playing up there for the last 2 seasons.
Yeah. Mate.
And people are saying to me, you know, oh yeah, but who else would you get? I don't care who I'd get. I'd rather Mickey Mouse be in the dugout than this guy. That's how bad it's got. That is how bad it's got right now. And I don't mean to keep moaning and going on, but that's how I generally feel now. I'd rather anyone. And then when I look at the team down the road, Spurs, who's won a trophy and been in a major final as well, European Cup final, remember, where they got beat by Liverpool, and they've won a European Cup, and they've sacked their manager. Make it make sense. And yet we've won nothing, and we're still sticking with this guy. You know, and they're taking a punt. They're taking a punt on Thomas Frank, who, by the way, I think he's a really, really good manager. And I'm going to say it, which might wind people up. I wish him well, to be honest, because I rate him. I rate him as a person, and I think what he's done with Brentford is brilliant. How he, you know, what he's done with the players he's had at Brentford. I wish him well. I hope they don't finish above us, but watch this space, guys. Watch this space.
Yeah.
Watch this space. But I'll tell you what, if this guy goes to Tottenham and finish above us, we will still have people backing this manager. We will still have people backing this manager. It's an absolute shambles. And honestly, that what you just brought up there, Aaron, it's just on the money that's been wasted. The money that has been absolutely wasted. And as I said, if it had been spent in the right areas, A, we may have won a trophy. B, if it had been spent in the right areas, we would have only had to have made 1 or 2 signings this season just to bolster it up, if you like, just to tweak it. But we need a major operation now. 700, nearly £1 billion after this football season. After this summer window, we're talking £1 billion, and we still will be short in every single position.
10% on the forward line.
10% on the forward line, £1 billion, 10% on the forward line, and we will still be short in every single position. We will still need a backup centre half. We still need some left back. We still need a left winger. We still need a midfield player. We still need strikers. It's just, honestly, man, it's just madness.
It's not just that as well, yeah. What do you reckon when we're sitting and we have a chat about this in 2 or 3 years' time? before I get Gianni's comment in there as well. What do you reckon in 2-3 years' time when we're saying, oh yeah, we ripped up or got nothing for Gabriel Jesus, ripped up or got nothing for Tomiyasu?
Yeah.
Kai Havertz was sold for a massive loss. Then we're looking at probably an underperforming Zubamendi, probably an underperforming Sesko that we're then lingered with for the next 3 years. And we've still got Zinchenko robbed us completely for wages.
Yeah.
And there's so many other things. We're going to be saying the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have to let Tomiyasu go on a free. We'll probably let Ben White go on a free. Saka will probably go for half the price he's worth because he's injury prone. This is what you'll get now. You'll have Saka going down with another injury, so his value will go down. You know, and this is how it be. And this is what I've been saying. It's not now, it's the long-term damage this manager's going to do if he stays any longer. And it's the pieces that the next manager's going to have to pick up. So he could potentially put us back 5, 6, 7 seasons. And I said it earlier on in my show with Normski. That semi-final of the Champions League was our biggest chance of winning that Champions League for many, many years to come. We are so far behind these teams now in the Champions League. We're miles behind PSG. We're miles behind Barcelona with all their young products. We're miles behind Real Madrid with them strengthening. We're going to be behind Bayern Munich. You've got Liverpool strengthening in all areas. Manchester City, there's 6 clubs we're going to be behind in the Champions League. So in retrospect, we're probably 6, 7, 8 years behind of winning the Champions League. It's just, honestly, it's just absolutely crazy. You needed to act now. At the start of this season, you needed to get rid of him, get someone in, start again.
Johnny's saying, just quickly before I bring Shane, get Guendouzi back. Why do we even sell him? Because he could have a bit of fisticuffs with Neil Mopay.
Attitude.
Okay, Rashid. Why? When you save money and build a squad, I'd have him back for 35 mil all day long. This is a thin start 11. Also, shouldn't have sold Smith Rowe. I will say, I was one of them people that sort of accepted that maybe we need to sell Smith Rowe. But when you actually look at the window we done, do you know what? If Arsenal hadn't signed anyone, Arsenal hadn't signed anyone. Say we didn't sign Calafiori, we didn't sign Sterling, Neto, or we didn't sign Mikel Merino, and we only just kept Emile Smith Rowe, we'd have had a better window.
Yeah,
that's mad. We'd have signed no one, just kept Smith Rowe. Arsenal Football Club would have had a better transfer window than they did now. But now, Gianni, you've said this a few times, and I actually agree with you. I'd have him back, man. He was an absolute baller. And then Mikel Arteta destroyed him because he goes against the grain a little bit. So what? Usually, I'm not calling him the best, but, some of the ones with talent usually do go against the grain. Do you know what I mean? Shane, whether you want to come in on the Guendouzi thing
I was a massive Guendouzi fan from the start. I loved him. It was one of the reasons that I turned on Arteta very early. Was when he turned on. What really got to me about the Guendouzi thing was 3 weeks after that thing at Mopai, Xhaka did the same. He grabbed someone by the neck and he didn't kick him out. So if you're going to do it to one, do it to the fucking other, mate. So it's the double standards to get to me. And Guendouzi's a young lad. And Xhaka was forever doing stuff like that. Against City in the 5-0, he lunged in for no reason. Against Liverpool, he kicked someone in the face. He was forever doing stuff like that. No, he's my... So he makes him captain. It's stuff like that. It's the double standards. I've said it before, when he came into that job, even before he had been fully confirmed, he was already thinking, right, Guendouzi, Aubameyang, so I'm getting all these lads out. These seem like they think they're too big for their boots. Who does everybody want as captain? Oh, yeah. The crowd seems to want Tierney. Right, well, he's not playing. You know what I mean? This is the way his mind works. And people think that, you must be crazy if you think that he'd go against the... That's what fucking Sutcliffe said to me, Christian, on the thing when he said, do you really think he'd damage the club for his own benefit? I said, yeah. He said, why? I said, because he's a narcissist. That's what they do. But Guendouzi was an absolute baller, man. An absolute baller. The type of player you need if you want to win. Yep. If you want to win the big games when it's 0-0 and there's a little bit left, he's the type of guy that will take the ball like Eze, beat a couple of players, snap off a shot or flick the ball through to someone. Proper player, man. You know what I mean? But we don't have players like that. We don't have big personalities. We have yes men. And yes, you don't win leagues or you don't win big tournaments with yes men. You don't win anything.
But
the reason that he won that FA Cup is because we didn't have a team full of yes men. We had Aubameyang, who won the semi-final and the final for him almost single-handedly. Ozil had his bad. You know, he wasn't the best player when he was on his game. He was great, but he had that magic moment in him. He had that magic moment with him. He could draw defenders to him even when he wasn't playing well because they had to worry about him. You know what I mean? We've gone through the team that he inherited, and we've called it out. We've said, you know, out of all the keepers we signed, none of them are better than Emi Martinez. Not even close. Not even close. Of all the left backs we signed, none of them are better than Tierney. Not even close. Saka was already breaking in. He had Smith Rowe coming out of the U team. He had Aubameyang. He had Lacazette. He had Ozil. He had Guendouzi. Xhaka was already there. This team was already decent, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But he took us from 8, like you said, Aaron. No, he put us in 8. Emery had finished 5th and got to a European final. We got steamrolled,
Exactly
fair
right.
enough, but he did get us to a European final with no money. Then he didn't get the players he wanted. This guy comes in, gets all the time in the world. Oh, when he came in halfway through the season, he didn't really. He came in about 3 months into the season because Emery got fired in what? November, I think he got fired.
Yeah, Lundberg took over 3 Premier League games, didn't he?
Yeah. So he came in before Christmas, so he had half a season, or just a bit more than half a season. It's the same shit, man. Guendouzi was a player, man. All these lads are players that he's never going to sign them. He's never going to sign them because they have too much attitude. And I've said this a million times, and I'll say it again. All the best attacking players have attitude. They all have attitude. It's why they're the best attacking players. There's not one that doesn't. But, you know, it's rinse and repeat with this guy. When you're looking at those transfers, and you're looking at it, because I've said this, I repeat this all the time when people mention all the money he spent. I say it's not just about that, it's the lack of profit he makes off these players. When he came out and publicly said, Aubameyang stripped him of the captaincy, made a big scene of it, he's never playing again, all this stuff. He instantly went from being worth about 30 million to being worth nothing because he went public with it. I promise you that players have been sold in the past from other clubs where they've fallen out with the manager like that, and we've never known about it because the manager didn't go public with it because then you lose all your bargaining power. You lose all your. We did it with Ozil. We have to get rid of him for paying all these players off. We're not just losing them; we're paying them off to get rid of them.
And the amazing thing about it,
himself.
But the thing about Shane, the amazing thing about it, because Aubameyang was loved by the fans. Do you know what I mean? Because we've been crying out for a striker for a long time. You know, when he came under Wenger, and as soon as this manager Arteta decides that he's an outcast there. And now, as soon as you bring up Aubameyang, he's a bad influence on the dressing room and blah, blah, this and blah.
You can hear that off any other teams he was at.
Yeah.
What's he talking about?
No.
Where did they get this from? Seriously, where did they get it from?
Do you know what?
Never heard about him before once.
Shane's allowed me to bring up something that I worked extremely hard on. That is extremely damning, and it's worth putting up again very quickly because we're sort of saying about the Mikel Arteta signings and you know the forward line and everything like that. I'll bring this back up again from Everything Wrong with Arsenal 1.0. Here it right is. You can see, and for people who haven't seen this before, this right here is all of Mikel Arteta's. This is only the squad that he inherited, and all of the sales from that squad, and all of the transfer neglect that we've seen, because Shane brought it up. It's relevant right now. But Leno, worth 28 million at the time, we sold him for 3.6. Martinez worth 30 million, 17.4. Kolasinac worth 16, free. Socrates 14.5, free. Chambers 14.5, free. Mustafi 12, free. David Luiz 12, free. Holding 9.5, 1.2. Mavropanos 2.4, 3.2. A profit. Tierney 2.4, free, 20 million, free, and that Bellerin 32 million. That's when we signed him, yeah. So that's when we signed them, and the money that we've lost, not what they were valued at the time. Free, Ainsley McDonald's 14.5, free. The defense worth 205.4 million, sold for 25.4 at a loss of 180 million pound. That's just the defense. Torreira 36 million, 6 sold. Xhaka 24, sold for 20. Guendouzi worth 40.5, 11. Mkhitaryan worth 23. Joe Willock 16. Oh yeah, we actually made money on him. Ozil 17.5, free. ESR 2.7, keeping a statistic. We won. Yep, brilliant. Midfield They were worth 156.7, sold for 98.2, made a loss of 58.5. And then we go down to the most damning of the lot: Nicolas Pepe, Lacazette, and Aubameyang. And Eddie Nketiah was slightly there, but whatever. Look at even just focus on the top three. Yeah, Nicolas Pepe, 52 million, sold 3. Lacazette, 48, sold 3. Aubameyang, 56, sold 3. Our front three there that he inherited, that he'd got from that, was sold for nothing. Nothing. Nicolas Pepe, Lacazette, and Aubameyang, what he inherited at Arsenal Football Club, that front three, he sold for fucking nothing. Nothing. Zero. Front forward worth 167 million without Eddie Nketiah. Free.
And let me just say as well that every single midfielder there, every single one of them is better than Marino. Every single midfielder there is better than Marino.
Yeah, I agree.
Every last one of them.
Yeah, let's deep that then. Nicolas Pepe would, whatever. Lacazette would be better than any striker we've got now. Aubameyang would be better than every striker. Fuck me, Eddie Nketiah would even still do a better job. I've have to have Mikel Merino up top. What we're doing here? Leno would be better than our backup goalkeeper. Martinez is better than our starting keeper. For crying out loud. Like, what are we actually playing at, man? Like, Tierney, why is he gone? Ainsley Maitland-Niles would even probably do a job somewhere in terms of the squad, but the midfield.
He'd be better in midfield
would
than
still
Marino.
Be the best left eight. Like Shane was saying, Mkhitaryan, why has he been able to get? Why haven't he been able to get a job out of him? Torreira, what, like? Do you know what I mean? Joe Willett balling out, just won a trophy.
Won a cup. Mkhitaryan, Champions League final.
Yeah, if you look at those, right? Granit Xhaka, Mkhitaryan, Joe Willett, as far as I know, have won some sort of title.
Yeah. Torreira won the league as well.
Torreira, that's what I couldn't remember. So that's one, they've left Arsenal. They've left
Xhaka's
Arsenal.
won a treble.
This is ridiculous, mate. This is absolutely
ridiculous. Pretty much every player there, mate.
Eddie Nketiah FA Cup.
Oh,
Martinez won a World Cup.
What we doing?
Nicolas Pepe won AFCON, I think, did he?
But the thing is, right, the players that needed coaching, the players that needed a little bit of hard work, that weren't particularly yes men, if you like, that were a bit, some of them were characters. I mean, look at Emil Smith-Rowe. He got an England call up at one point.
Yep.
Yeah, I like him. I'd never would have let him go.
Emil Smith-Rowe, with the right manager early on, would have been a really outstanding, brilliant player. Ainsley would have been a really good player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All of these players here would have been good players.
Do you know what, as well, just quickly, it's worth plugging now. I'm the way through all the players that have left Arsenal Football Club under Mikel Arteta's tenure and won stuff. I'm semi away through that show. And just while it's relevant here, everything wrong with Arsenal 3.0 will be coming out in the first week of September once all the transfers are done. So we've got to make sure we're there for that. Everything wrong with Arsenal 3.0, because I want to make sure that we've got sales and incomings before I do 3.0, because that's going to contain absolutely everything. It might be the end of series, I don't know, but that will contain absolutely everything, and I need the transfer window in that. But they're two shows to make sure you look out for. Sorry, I didn't know if I was interrupting.
No, it's fine, mate. I mean, I personally don't think there'll be a lot coming in.
I was going to say about our outgoings. How do you think our outgoings will be?
Well, not many not many clubs are coming in for anyone at the moment, but don't know. I think two, mate. Well, apart from the obvious ones, like some of the players we've got rid of now, Marquinhos and people like that. But big names, first 11. I don't know. Someone may come in for Martinelli. Trossard, perhaps. Yeah, But I still say we'll only make 2 signings and a last-minute loan, desperate signing.
Sane, we'll get Sane for free, won't we?
Do you reckon we'll get Sane?
That's the next one. That's the next one, isn't it?
Yeah, I reckon Sane's another Willie.
Because he can play. He can play across both wings. So
no, I reckon Sane's another Willie.
He will be the backup. He'll be the backup for both wings.
Just another Sterling, man. That's all.
Yeah, Sane's another Willie.
That's all it is.
That's all it is. That's all it is. I mean, Sesko, we probably may get him.
Guys, what I can't get, it's crazy. Every stream that I go on, and it comes down to our transfer window, we're feeling so underwhelmed at the beginning of a window. It's beyond me, and I think it's because we've been sold this dream, and it's the hope that keeps giving, and we do not do what we're meant to do. And at the very beginning, we're 10 days into, it's officially now 10 days, so the window now should be closed. 10 days in, and I think it feels so underwhelming because we don't know who we're getting, and you're looking across the way, and people tell you, don't look at other teams. Yeah, be patient. Don't look at other teams. What do you mean?
I think what makes it worse, Norms. I think what makes it worse, Norms, is because we know that the club should have done the right thing last summer.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Have had a striker last summer.
What it is.
As I said before, when he was given that money, when he had that money in his hands, his first priority should have been striker. That should have been his first priority, but it wasn't. He went and got Calafiori, then he went and got Moreno. So his money was
he went for Sesko, DJ, and when they said that he has to stay another year, he's so stubborn that he waited.
Yeah.
So he blew off a year of a season to wait on the one player, because when he sets his mind on something in his world, it doesn't make sense to change his fucking mind. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to change his mind.
But yeah, again, Shane, he had no plan B, did he? If Sesko fell through,
just like his in-game management. Just like his in-game management.
Yeah, he had no plan B. So he kind of washed his hands with it, and he went, "Oh, okay, I'll sign someone just to keep everyone happy." So that never happened. Yeah. And then in January we got all this spill that he went for Watkins. That was honestly
never happened.
I'd like 100% proof that we went for bidding 34 million for Watkins. Seriously. And you honestly thought Aston Villa was going to go, yeah, okay, here you go, 34 million.
Well, they knew they wouldn't. That's why they did it. That's why they waited till the Duran deal was nearly done.
Yeah,
remember they waited. That was pretty much done when they put the bid in. So they knew it wouldn't go. They knew it wouldn't come. So it was just to cover him, because he was waiting on Sesko, and the board aren't going to sign him a striker in January if he's dead set on getting his man at the end of the year. It all comes down to him. Everything comes back to him. Every single thing that's wrong with this club comes back to him.
I wonder what will happen if we don't get Sesko.
It should be funny.
What will happen if this Sesko...
Apparently Saudi are sniffing around him now.
Yeah, if this Sesko don't come through, what will happen now?
You'll just start with, we have Havertz and we have Marino, and we have... They'll say we have 3 strikers, guys. That's what they'll say. We have Jesus, Marino, and Havertz. And they'll just keep saying it. We have 3 strikers, guys. You know what I mean? You know what it is. You know they'll come up with something. They'll come up with something. And the top gooners will say, I never wanted Sesko anyway, and it will all go back around again, and they'll do the same bollocks, man.
Round about the merry
midfield players. We've only got 3 midfield players, apparently.
Oh, yeah. And do you know what annoyed me about that stream? Because remember I kept saying, what about Wanyeri? And he said, he's covered for the right wing. And it's just because I was getting ready to leave, I said, Dan, I have to go now. And then just as I was going, he pulled up his team. He did, and he had Wanyeri in the 10 on it.
Yeah. Skelly. What about Skelly? Skelly ain't a midfield player. He's a left back. No, he's not. He's a midfield player.
He's a midfield player. He's a Morgan Rogers-esque midfield player. If he played the left wing, he would ball out, man. He would absolutely ball out in that position.
What about Havertz? No, and then he went, no, he's not. Havertz is number 9. He's a striker. No, he's not. He was a midfield player.
No, he's not.
So when it suits him, he moves them. When it suits him, he moves them. Because I was saying, you say no, well, because Arteta plays him left back. I said, okay. So now because he says it, then he's a left back. I said, that guy's been midfield for the last ever since he's kicked the ball, he's been a left eight. Oh, yeah, but he plays that. Then I said to him, okay, so if we get Zubimendi, I said, he never understands hypothetical, this fucking guy, lad. He just doesn't understand that. I said, hypothetically, if we get Zubimendi and halfway through the season, Arteta decides that he's playing him as an inverted right back, I said, does that mean he's never a midfielder again? Is he not a midfielder anymore? Oh, and his answer to that was he wouldn't play him at right back. I said, it's a hypothetical, because he didn't want to answer, because by his rationale, if Arteta decides someone's a left back, then they're never a midfielder again. Zinchenko plays there for his country. We're stacked in midfield. If a new manager came in, we're stacked in midfield. You have Neri, Odegaard, and Skelly in the left 8, Rice in the left 8. You have, you know what I mean? Then you do have Zubimendi, you have Partey, there's loads of players there. It's just because he's decided that they're not midfielders anymore that suddenly we're screwed.
But do you know what, Aaron, sorry, mate. Normski made a good point there. What players do you think? I mean, we're talking about players coming in, but look at the players we've got at the club that we, at the moment, are still at the club. Zinchenko.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We ain't going to be able to get rid of Zinchenko. Yeah. Tommy Esu played, 6 minutes of football?
He'll never play a full 90 again, that guy.
Do you know what I mean? We've still got quite a few players at the club that there's no rumours of any team coming in for or anything.
No,
can't get rid of it.
That's it. It's not.
I've got to address this, yeah, Nathan. You haven't been impolite in what I've seen at all, so I will always respond the same on match energy. Yeah, maybe he is a bottle job. But for the first time in my life, I start the season with genuine hope we could win the league. I started supporting Arsenal in 2005. Nathan, you've never seen Arsenal win a league. So you've no tangible reference in terms of feeling of knowing what winning feels like. So with the greatest of respects to you, my friend, fair dues, but you don't know what winning the title feels like. So this is probably success to you, which is fine. You can't help when you were born. You can't help when you started supporting the team, because that was, it was 20 years ago. However, I can combat that quite nicely by saying, bro, if you've never seen Arsenal win a league, you don't know what that feeling is. And when you've experienced that feeling, it's like a virgin when he fucks for the first time. But if you don't go back to wanking straight after, you want to go get some, so-and-so. Come on, man. It's not the same. Yeah, it's all well and good. Do you know what I mean? You can have a little Thomas the Tank. But, man, it doesn't beat beating. I'm telling you that. And you've got no reference point, bruv. You've never seen Arsenal win a league title. You've watched it on YouTube. Trust me, when you go and see Arsenal lift the Premier League title, you'll be going, oh, fuck yeah, second place is crap, innit? It's just failure. You don't know what winning feels like. FA Cup's cool, man. It's the oldest cup competition in the world. Outside of Europe, it's the best cup competition in the world. And I'll argue that till I'm blue in the face. And I think the panel will agree. And I say Europe there because the Champions League.
I really want to know, Nathan, and fair play to you. That's your opinion. I just want to know what gives you hope that at the start of the season, you were genuine hope that we could win the league. I really genuinely want to know, because we can give our opinion of why we don't think we're going to win the league. Yeah. So if you would kindly, and I'm not trying to bank you or nothing, I'm being absolutely serious. I want to know what it is that is giving you this hope, genuine hope, that we could win the league next season. Because there must be a number of factors, yeah? One, the manager, if you believe in the manager, the players that we've currently got, the players that we are looking to bring in, but then also we must have the big C, context. Context, yeah? And the context is... Context. The other context is, please look across the river or look across yonder and look at what Liverpool are doing, who just won the league at a canter and now are building on top of that. You then look at Man City and see what they are doing. You look at Man United, who I think with their front three may give us a bit of problems. You have Newcastle. There are a number of clubs. Don't think that they're going to stand still. Yeah, because that was the mistake we made last season. We thought, they've lost Rodri, so we should go on and win the league. Well, Liverpool did it at Canter. So, Nathan, I just want to know what gives you genuine hope that we are going to win the league next season. Please, I'd like to know.
Yeah. I mean, there you go. Our brother Normski's asked you the question, man. If you're still in the chat, I mean, he was writing comments not so long ago. Yeah, it's just a general question, man.
It's a general question, and I'm serious. I'm
serious. That's why I always ask politely, isn't it? Yeah, that's why.
You know what baffles me about it is, and because I had something similar. I don't even know. It might have been the same guy in my chat. That how can you start a sentence with "he might be a bottle job," but I have hope that he'll win the league? It doesn't work because he's going to bottle it by your own sentence that he's going to bottle it because he's a bottle job. I had someone come in and say in my chat that, oh, Arteta's a great manager. He just doesn't know how to get over the line. And I said, but that can't be in the same sentence.
Yeah.
You can't say the manager's great, but he can't get over the line because it defeats the purpose. You know what I mean? So if he's a bottle job, then he can't have hope. I'm the same as Normsy. I can understand you saying after 22, 23, I have hope because of the way we played and, oh, yeah, the Saliba injury and stuff like that. But this, after last season, and now us, like Normsy said, getting left behind by absolutely everybody. Villa will leave us behind. If Newcastle sign 2 top players, they'll leave us behind. I think they'll leave us behind anyway. I think their first 11's better than ours. City will leave us behind. Like I often say it, and I'll keep repeating it. We ain't getting. If this manager is in charge at the end of next season, we'll be outside the top 5. If we get a new manager halfway through the season, we might get back into it. I don't see this manager. Everything's falling apart from him, and he knows it. You can tell by him that he knows it's falling around. It's falling down around his ears. The players aren't celebrating with him.
Yeah.
God knows what's happening behind closed doors. Which players are asking for transfers. Which players are saying, I can't do this anymore. So I guarantee you a few of them are, if not a load of them. There's no way that they're going to sit here taking this. When Gabriel signed a new contract, it's gotten to the point now that I am so done with this club that when Gabriel signs a contract, I'm questioning him going, really? What are you doing signing the contract with us? You know what I mean? Yeah. That's still looking at it going, really?
Bruv. Shane, if you like, I obviously want him to sign, but I'd have had more respect for him if he went, you know what, I think I'll wait until September to see what transfer business you've done. Because if I wanted to commit my next 4 or 5 years, and I know, look, that it ain't worth the ink it's written on, but it's still technically contracted. I'd have just waited and gone, I'll tell you what, now it's all cool. I'll tell you what, in September, if you show ambition, I'll fucking sign the deal. And I'll cut 20, 30 grand off. Whatever. I just want to see what you've got. What have you got in the tank? And I think the same with Bill Saliba and Saka.
Yeah.
That's what I'd have done, even though I love Arsenal to bits and it'd been privileged to play them. I'm sorry, I'm also a winner. And would I leave Arsenal Football Club to go win trophies? Yes, I fucking would. I would. I'm sorry if people don't like that in the chat. I would. I'm a winner. I'd probably stay with Arsenal probably a couple of years longer than I should because I love them. But ultimately, I would leave the football club. So if I would do that, I don't expect these Brazilians that come in from, you know what I mean? Of course, they don't have to care. Saka may be slightly different. He'd probably do what I do. But ultimately, you want to do a Harry Kane and have to go and fucking win something in Germany? Do you know what I mean? You stay there. And he's going to look back on that and go, fuck, probably should have gone to City 2 years before. Fuck, I should have gone to City 5 years before. He's going to look back on his career and think, oh, that time at Tottenham's great, but it was wasted. And that's what I think the football club them players should have done. Right, show me ambition and I'll stay. Simple. How much you're going to spend in the window? What players you're going to bring in the window? Show me some ambition.
Yeah.
Not difficult. And then, do you know what I mean? That actually, in turn, might have actually pushed the club a little bit more and gone, well, fuck me. Saliba, Gabriel and Saka are like, yeah, they're going to want to leave. We need to actually make some ambition. That actually probably would have in turn helped. I don't know where anyone else stands on that, but we will wrap up shortly. I've got a new outro. Don't forget to you'll see that.
He should have. Getting back to the Gabriel, what he should have negotiated was the captaincy.
Yeah.
I'll sign, but I want the captaincy because that's what he should be the captain. Him or Rice should be the captain. 100%. 100%. But do you know what, though, guys? As I said to you before, I think the main problem there, we all know the root cause of the problem with this football club, and I agree with Shane. Even more so next season, we'll be struggling to finish in the top 5, and the reason for that is that this manager now is going to be under so much pressure with every single game. As soon as he goes into any game, the pressure on this manager is going to be immense, and we all know what he can do with pressure. He can't handle it. He can't handle it. And then fixtures come out in a couple of weeks' time. I'll be interested to see what our first 10 fixtures are. Because if he's got City, Man United, Liverpool, the North London derby normally is early in the season as well. if he's got some tough fixtures and come Christmas we are off the top, then
And you know what, DJB, especially if he loses a couple to the top 6, the one thing that he has left, you know what I mean? If he loses a couple of them, if he gets a spanking off one of them, that's all he's got. Like that's what the top gooners cling on to, is the top 6 bollock.
That's all he's got.
You know what I mean? So if he loses one of them, then the pressure will come on. And also, we have to remember that Timber's not going to be fit at the start of the season. No. Ben White probably won't be. You know what I mean? I'm sure there'll be others. Will Havertz be? He only came back and played a few minutes. Saka didn't look fit to me. You know,
no. Saka was way off.
Don't tell the party starting at right back. You know what I mean?
Saka was way off at the end of the season. Hence, he
was a shadow of himself. He could have done permanent damage as well. That's the worrying thing, man.
Well, it'd be interesting to see how he turns out next season, Shane. But I don't think he's going to be He's still going to be a very good player because he's not got he's got no one to challenge him. But he ain't going to be the player he was.
He needs that explosion
I still don't think he's going to be the player he was.
What happened to Michael Owen?
Yeah, he's not going to be the player he was. But this is the problem as well. We've got too many players in the team that know they got a shirt. I mean, our captain, Odegaard, he knows he's going to play every game.
Yeah, no matter what he does. Yeah.
He kicks a stinker. He's had a terrible season, but he knows he's going to be the captain and he knows he's going to play next season. It's just a mess, mate. It's just a mess. Absolute mess.
Yeah. I mean, it's a double frustration, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? What we're in. People think like I always come back to it. Like, oh, why would you want to be miserable all the time? Arsenal make me miserable. I don't wake up every morning and go, I wonder how I can be angry towards Arsenal.
No, I am miserable.
I wake up and read absolute crap and it makes me miserable. If Arsenal done good things, I wouldn't be miserable. If Arsenal won the league title, I promise you, mate, I'd somersault to work in the morning. I'd somersault out of bed in the morning. I'd be on here singing Arsenal's praise. I would. If Arsenal won the Premier League, I'd be buzzing.
Aaron, I'm not even there. I just want. Do you know how bad it's come now? I just want a trophy. I'd even take the 2 domestics, finishing 4th and having a good run in the Champions League. I'd take that.
Yeah,
I'd take that.
No, fact.
I just want a trophy. I just want a trophy, a parade, a day out. I just want something to show for all my support I'm giving them.
Yep.
And good football. And good football, because last season the football was absolutely pony.
So bad.
I just want to see good football. I want to just see good football. I want to come out the Emirates going, okay, we may have lost, but I tell you what, some of that football we played, we hit the post, we hit the crossbar, we had one cleared up the line. They got a lucky break. But I tell you what, we was bang on it then.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No, fact.
Absolutely nothing. We're scraping. Sorry, mate. I said we've come out of the stadium scraping wins against Southamptons and Leicesters and people like this.
Yeah, now facts. Listen, I will wrap it up there. But DJB, what you got coming up next, my friend?
I've got the Shane Man on my show tomorrow. He's making a guest appearance on my channel tomorrow, and I think I've had some one-to-ones with obviously Aaron and Normsky and Jezza and Kenny, Matty, Shane, and then obviously I'm going to try and get Lee involved. I'm going to try and get Lee on my channel at one point, but I know he's very, very busy. El Capitano. And got that tomorrow. And then haven't really got much lined up. I'm just going to see how the signings go and see what's happening, see what's making the news. And if I'm getting a bit peed off, I might do another little stream. But next season, once the season kicks off, I'll have a couple of regular slots and do some post-match reactions and stuff like that. So, all good, man. But thanks for having me on again. I really enjoy Monday nights.
You're good, man.
I love them.
I really enjoy Monday nights. And
do you know what? We've had solid numbers. We've had, for the vast majority of the show, over 100, considering Lee and Northside start streaming exactly the same time and Jez.
Yeah.
We've had solid numbers, man, considering, and that's part and parcel, man. You're gonna have people streaming at the same time. But considering having over 100, man, I mean, that's phenomenal for me. I'm buzzing with that.
Sorry, Aaron, I've just had Mr. Waffle come on. I think we said 6 o'clock. I think it's on the I think it's on. I think it's on. I think it's all on YouTube anyway. So, or is it 4:30? Isn't it? I think
It's 4:30. I think it's 4:30. Yeah.
I think it's 4:30. 4:30. Yeah. Have a check
4:30.
out of that.
Buzzing, man. Buzzing.
But big up, Shane. Big
what about
up.
you? Well, we know you've got TJB's thing, and you got the full Irish.
I'm all over YouTube tomorrow. Obviously, I have the full Irish at 10:30, and then I have DJB at 4:30, and then I have Clean Through 1-on-1, the show I do with views at 7:30 on my channel. So straight through tomorrow. But looking forward to it all. I'm very absolute honor to go on DJB's and always an honor to do the Monday nights, man. I'm the same as DJB. I do love these Monday nights. Just sitting down with three absolute real ones, man. And you know what I mean? We can have our little rants and we can have this and that, but we always have a laugh then as well. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. That's what I try to do on my shows as well. Get serious about it, but it's either laugh or cry with this club, man. You know what I mean? You do need to sort of try and break it down a bit when Norms will be tuning in and sending me Top Gooner Drost, and I'd be picking it apart for him, cooking them up, man, chefing them up. Well, listen, man, absolute pleasure coming on. Yeah, I'll be all over YouTube tomorrow, as I said, straight through. But I'll be 10:30 tomorrow morning. The full Irish will be kicking off as it always does.
The full Irish.
Man, please have me on an absolute world class chat. As you said, with those two other streaming to have over 100 in is outrageous, man. It's outrageous.
I'm buzzing with that. Do you know what I mean? Look, it's one of them things. What can you do? Do you know what I mean? But the numbers that we've still had, honestly, fantastic chat. This is the world-class chat, man. I say it all the time. The Maradona, the Pele, the Messi, the Ronaldos, the Zinedine Zidane of the chats, man. Wonderful. Normski, what have you got coming up, my brother?
Yeah, no problem. Wednesday, got the What's Going On podcast show at 6:30 with different guys from various clubs. So we'll be talking about transfers. And we having a good old chat with a guy who hasn't been on for a little while. Tottenham fans going to be coming on, so I'm going to be finding out what's it like acting like a big club and getting rid of your manager. So he said he's gonna be coming on that. So I'll be looking forward to that show. And then on Thursday, back to the Bruce Banana show.
Yeah, boy.
You know what I mean. So and then we have the Family Show on Friday, and then it's all round. It just keeps going round and round. It's all, you know what I mean. But yeah, no, loving every minute of it, you know what I mean. And then every now and again, I'll dip into the Matrix, throw out a video. So if I find any crazy things going on, I'll dip into there, get the facts, get out there quick.
Get out before you lose your mind.
Get out before I lose my mind, mate. Before I lose my mind, you know what I mean. But yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good.
We are going to be raiding Lee Gunner, yeah? We're going to be raiding Everton now.
Is he still
streaming? Yeah. He's going to still be going. We're going to be raiding him with forehead raid, yeah? That's what we want to do. All right? That's what we're going to send over. Now, big up to you. We are going to be out, okay? Big up to every single person. Let me see. One sec. Oh, I even got my outro video set. That's cool.
It's a new one.
Boom. No. It's the same old.
Oh,
take it easy.